The Truck Series Championship kicked things off Friday night under the lights.
We're going to tear it up tonight.
Followed by an action-packed Saturday, where fans will witness an ARCA and Xfinity Series Championship doubleheader. Don't miss out on the action November 4th and 5th. Get your tickets now for NASCAR Championship Weekend at PhoenixRaceway.com or call 866-408-RACE.
Public service announcement from Summit Male Medical. Guys often confuse erectile dysfunction with low testosterone. They are two different issues with two separate treatments. ED is simply a blood flow issue. Low T is a health issue. Symptoms include lack of muscle mass, gaining a few pounds, low energy, irritability, low libido. At Summit Medical, we treat both because we're experts at both. We've been here in the Valley since 2008. We've treated tens of thousands of patients, not only from here, but all over the country, coming to us specifically. And compare our pricing with others. We are the low-price leaders. And combine that with the most experienced staff in the business for ED and PE treatments, and that is an unbeatable combination. We dare you to compare. Please do. So if you're having intimacy issues, please let us show you how we can help you tomorrow if you call today. 480-398-1000 or go to summitmalemedical.com. It will be the best call you ever make.
Are you a planner? Do you like to plan ahead? Then, of course, you already have a plan to call Harmon Solar, right? Bruce Jacobs here. It should be at the top of your list to get solar now and enjoy huge savings next summer. Up to 85% on your monthly bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Then you can plan what to do with all that extra money. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, women-owned, local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
Meals from those years are hard to forget. It was all white bread and whole milk, hamburger casseroles, and quiche Lorraine's, all with a side of cigarettes. We ate salads as desserts. We knew a party was classy if it had a cheese log, and we never missed an after-dinner smoke. It didn't matter if we were in our dining rooms, a burger joint, or the ritziest of restaurants. There'd be an ashtray on every table. And that very particular flavor in every meal. We smoked for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's amazing that our food could taste like anything else. If that was you then, get your lungs screened now. Surviving lung cancer starts with a scan. Learn more at screenyourlungs.org. This PSA was made possible by industry funding and guidance from lung cancer patient groups.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Thursday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, not alongside Randy White. He will be back Monday, not alongside Ralph from Harmon Solar. He'll be here tomorrow. Got Izzy, though. Izzy is the man. Izzy is always there when you need him. He's reliable. He's ready, willing, and able. And today he's in an especially good mood. We'll get to that in a minute. Keon Rose, of course, in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale on National High Five Day. Yes, it's the day. I don't care for high fives, I'll be honest with you. And honestly, even when I was in high school and I was playing sports, and I made it clear, don't touch my butt. You don't need to high five my butt. I don't understand how that really equates to anything. You're not my dad, you're not my mom, and don't touch my butt. And then you were like, hey, high five. And I'm just like, man, you got a big sweaty mitt. I don't want to, I've never been a fan of the high five, even back then. When they invented the fist bump, I love the fist bump. That's my favorite, the fist bump. But this is not fist bump day. And by the way, after we talk about what we're about to talk about, I am back on Ban the Baby, Ban the Fist Bump Baby from the Foot Fungus Center. But we'll get to that. But, there is controversy over where the high five was invented. Some people say it was by Glenn Burke when he high-fived Dusty Baker after he hit a home run back in 1977. I kind of felt like it was around before that, but the others say it was a Louisville basketball team that started it in the 70s. Yeah, I can't believe it took this long to invent a high five. I feel like it's always been there.
In the whole course of human history, no one thought to do that until 1970. Is a little tough to believe. I have trouble wrapping my mind around that.
No, 77. So I was alive as a child when this was invented. I mean, it seems just like maybe a couple of years later we were doing the nut punch. That's kind of like a high five.
I feel like the high five was invented in 1970.
Oh God,
I feel like the high five was invented in 1977 in the same way that America was discovered by Christopher Columbus.
So you think the Indians were like, "Oh, many of these things that they're going to steal from us"?
There were already people here. Somebody was doing the high five somewhere. They just didn't name it until maybe one of those moments.
That makes sense, though. I mean, I know it's always just the movies, but remember the Indian guy would be standing there on the beach. We'd show up with our smallpox blankets, and we would show up, and the Indian guy would be like, "How?" Maybe when he had his hand up, he's like, "How about a high five?" And he was just trying to, and we didn't dap him up, and that just started wars.
I mean, to be honest, I haven't given out a high five in a good year and a half. I think the fist bump has been one of the most greatest things to happen, at least for us.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, who's us?
Well, it's me and you.
Us radio people. I know there's a fist bump club, but I'm definitely joining it if there is one. I've just never been a fan of the sweaty high five. Fist bump, you're absolutely right. That is the way to go. Moist One says, what if somebody fist bumps your butt? Are you cool with that? No. I'm even less cool with that. Don't touch my butt. Berg says, wasn't the high five invented when the Suns lost the championship in 1976 to the Celtics? Kiss my ass, Berg. I don't care if you have cancer. I'm tired of you just finding whatever opportunity to remind us that your Celtics beat the Suns 1.5 million years ago. So no fist bump for you, Berg. I might give you a high five right to the face. I don't know. By the way, Berg, I guess saw on my Twitter where I posted this GIF. Did you guys see the double soccer flop? We thought it couldn't get much worse. You thought it couldn't get much worse. And then there's these two guys, they run over and they're actually struggling physically for a moment trying to get a ball. But after it goes out of bounds, the other guy just kind of walks over and they both flop away from each other at the same time, and no contact was even made. It's on my Twitter. If you go to @RadioPal1580, just scroll down, I guess, past the dog pictures and whatever, you'll find it. And yeah, by the way, I don't want to become that guy. I don't want to become that guy who just constantly posts up pictures of the dogs. I don't post any pictures of my kids, and I never have, not since back when Randy and I were doing a morning show and we had a creeper show up. And I was like, okay, I will always protect my family from the outside world just in case.
Makes sense.
But yeah, I forgot what I was going to say.
Well, you didn't want to be the person that posts pictures of the dog.
I didn't want to have a COVID moment this far out because nobody's going to believe it. But okay. Yeah, I don't want to be that guy. But my dog has done this thing where he hides in the bushes and he waits for the birds to land in the yard just so he can chase them. I hope he doesn't catch one, but he really wants to. He's not even a bird dog. My old dog, the one that passed away last year, golden retriever, well, it's in the name, retrieve. Well, she got a hold of a dove and brought it inside to me and my wife when we were like late at night watching a movie. That was a commotion. Anyway, so I have no idea where I was going with any of this, but yes, @RadioPal1580, scroll down, see the double soccer flop. And everybody says that who's a soccer fan, they're saying, well, the basketball players do the same thing. There is nothing like what the soccer players do.
It's not even close to the same. Basketball players are embellishing contact that exists.
Right.
And I say this as somebody that decently watches soccer. I mean, like I don't hate it when it's on, but there's no contact. There's no contact, and soccer players are throwing themselves.
They were 3 feet away from each other. In basketball, yeah, because here it is. In basketball, it's a smaller area. And you would notice if somebody flopped, and we notice already, if somebody flopped more than what they already do. And so soccer, well, yeah, everybody's far away. And of course, they're not caring about the cameras. They're playing to the ref, the little dude with the red card who comes running. As long as you got the angle, you can sell it. Why don't they look at instant replay on soccer to decide if that was a flop or not?
I have no idea, but it's something's got to be done about it. I mean, the NBA fines people who flop, so that's the other reason why there's less of it there too.
Soccer don't care.
Soccer doesn't care. Not about that.
Because you've seen the guy come out with the magic spray, which is basically just a water bottle. The guy's like, oh, "Okay, I'm good. I can play. No, I can play." Nothing happened to you. So, if soccer is okay with the magic spray and they're okay with the flop at a distance, what makes us think they'll ever change that? I mean, maybe, I don't know. Is that a detraction for people to watch soccer? The flops? I don't think it is. I think it's just damn boring just to watch people run up and down in a park all day. If I had to sit there and watch people run through a park and chase dogs, no dogs, I would watch that. If you throw some dogs on the field to soccer players, now I'll watch.
I think that there is, the way that they move the ball in the passing and all that, that people can enjoy. That if you see the flopping, it's like, okay, but these guys aren't tough at all, though. They can't, they can't take any amount of punishment. That's kind of one of the things you watch sports for, is to see people overcome stuff. And you got two guys that are 3 feet away from each other throwing themselves out of bounds just to see if they can get the referee to flash the card. They're not overcoming much. It doesn't look like it. And then, you're not scoring a ton. So yeah, I think that does turn people off. Definitely Americans.
What really turns people off is it's soccer. 888-368-1580. Senior Wake and Bake says ghost high fives work for me. But that's almost sadder when you don't make contact. You're like, all right, that's,
That's weird.
I mean, during the height of COVID, those actually made sense. A fist bump makes sense. Although I will say this, the only contact I had with Ralph back when he gave me COVID was a fist bump. I remember that now. At the very end of the show, fist bump, probably because he was in the room with me and the Omicron was very, very contagious. But yeah, I mean, fist bump, it's superior it's a superior thing to the high five. It's just, here's the thing. Now, you're a young man and you have to plan those things a little bit in advance. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because if you come up to somebody and you're going for the fist bump, but they're up like this going high five, then it's like awkward. Are you high-fiving their hand? Are they going to smack your fist bump? Or if they're coming out with a handshake, so here's what I've always told people. Now pay attention, you're going to learn something here. As you come in, be slow to bring that arm through and just be watching what they're going to do and then match up with them. So if you lag behind, like, hey, how you doing? Oh, okay, we're doing this. Okay, high five. Okay, well, we're doing this. It's a fist bump. Oh, no, it's a handshake. All right. Oh, it's a punch in the face. Didn't see that coming.
I'm like the cowboy in the Western. I'm going to shoot first. I'm a big fist bump guy as well. And I'm coming out with the fist. And if you choose anything else, the fist is staying there until we make contact.
You're a stubborn leader.
It's just, I hate having to figure it out. I'd rather not. If I can go first, then you already have to react to me. And if I'm late, well, that's too bad, isn't it?
It's clear I'm not a very hip person for the fact I just said I'm not hip. I'm sure that's not even the right term. But, the fact that, I am at least hip enough not to do this. You ever go for a fist bump and the person grabs your fist and shakes it?
That's weird.
You're like, what are you doing?
There's a guy
you
that
violated the social contract. This is very uncomfortable. I feel violated.
I had a friend do that in college, and I told him he was lame for doing it. Just don't.
There's some people that would, if they don't know what you're doing, like you'll mistake a fist bump, high five, they'll just reach in and grab you for a hug. And
that's even worse. No.
It's just like,
I'm putting my fist out to you because I didn't want any of that other contact.
Right.
I don't hug. Randy's 60th birthday party. I didn't hug him, and he understood.
But he tried though.
No, he mentioned it, and I'm like, well, you don't get a hug. I'm sorry, nobody. Listen, here's the thing. I got personal space issues. Okay, here's my personal space for everybody. A little closer for the ladies. You know what I'm saying? But even then, the women I've worked with in the past, they come in for a hug. I'm just like, no, we don't do that. I'm not hugging. I hug my wife. That's it, and the kids. Outside of that, something really, really, really has to be wrong for me to give somebody a hug. I don't know what that is yet, but I'm just saying.
That's good to know. I mean, if you come in and you hug somebody at work, will know you have amnesia or something hit you on the head.
That person is about to die. Well, there's also there is the Hispanic hug. Where you go in for the handshake and they lean in, pat, pat, pat on the back. And there's just like kind of like a little half hug, you know. All of my wife's family does that, and a lot of listeners and friends who've come up and gone handshake, lean in, pat, pat, pat. You know, that's not a hug. You're not embracing somebody, but that's pretty manly. I don't mind the man hug. But you can call it the man hug. You can call it the Hispanic hug, the family hug. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So that man card approved. And here's the other thing. If you want to hug somebody, there's no man card violation on it. I mean, I'll tell you what, and part of it is almost like a game of make each other uncomfortable chicken between me and my nearly 30-year-old son. He's this mountain of a man. And every time I see him, I'm like, all right, bring it in here. I'm like stretching just to get around him like that, you know. And I think it's uncomfortable, really more for everybody watching than it is for us.
It's just obvious neither of you really wants to be hugging each other. It's just
no, we love each other. It's just
it's
an awkward moment. You're like, because he's big. He's not fat. He's just a big guy, you know. And it's like, and of course I'm sitting there going, this is really weird. I'm hugging a man, you know, but it's my son, so you know it's not weird. Anyway, I mean, I'm not like in the royal family or nothing. 888-368-1580. Philly fan says, just watched a double flop on the soccer field there. That is awful. This is why I can't watch soccer. That? All right. So all the other shows put polls on the Twitter. I wonder if we should put a poll. See, then we're going to piss off the Phoenix Rising fans, and the soccer hooligans would get mad. And so maybe I'm going to employ this. We're not going to post it on Twitter, but I'm going to ask you on here. Text in, why is it you don't want to watch soccer? Is it the flopping? Is it just because it's just 90 straight minutes of guys running around and very little things happening? And every now and then there's a goal, and then what is the reason you don't like soccer? Or maybe you do like soccer. On the contrast, give me a reason to like soccer, or that at least you do. I think that's a fair way of going. I don't think La Furia Roja can get too mad about that. I mean, I'm not disrespecting the Phoenix Rising. I mean, they've been one of the best sports teams in Arizona for a while, just very quietly coming in under the radar, except for people who love soccer. So is it Philly fan? Is it the flopping or is it something else? Let me know. I'm just kind of curious. And I'm not here to hate on soccer, even though I don't like it. I'm not here to hate on it. I'm just kind of curious your guys' opinion. 888-368-1580. Fish Tank says soccer can't use instant replay on flops because then the game would stop every 15 seconds for review. So you got guys like flopping in soccer, nothing gets called and they just jump up and like, well, damn it. Or do they keep selling it?
They you grimace and slowly get up like you got hurt, but then after a while you're just clearly running 5 minutes later. But people don't usually pop up off the ground, though that has happened. I have definitely seen it.
You just brush against somebody, and now all of a sudden you're Peter Griffin on the curb going. Jake the Snake says, "What's up, fellas? Sun's gonna rally. CP3 gonna be the MVP of the series. Go Sun! Plus Kyler Murray. Oh, we're gonna get to that. Yes, there has been a bit of Kyler Murray news this afternoon, but we're actually gonna start with what happened last night and a little bit about what happened the night before. Oh my God. So it was bad enough when they told us that Devin Booker would be out a couple of games. Now they're saying, oh, he meant a couple weeks. So yeah, that's not good news for these Phoenix Suns. Could miss 2 to 3 weeks. Is that the end of the Suns' historic rise, or can they get through this?
Well, I think they could get through this. I mean, I don't think it's the end of the world, like they said, like Monty said, next man up. So it's nobody is going to be. It's not going to be a huge loss. Devin Booker.
You know where else they said next man up, is he?
Where?
The Alamo. This did not go well. Sorry, but go ahead.
But even then, like we don't expect the New Orleans Pelicans to keep up this huge shooting performance that they did. Brandon Ingram and CJ McCollum can definitely light it up, but you needs to be a whole team together. DeAndre Ayton needs to step up as well. If the next man up, the people that need to step up for the Suns. DeAndre Ayton, Landry Shamet, Cameron Payne, Cam Johnson. I think it's just no problem at all. He should get ready for the next series.
Kaylor says, did you see the protester make it rain on the FIFA president at a press conference? Why would you think I'd ever see a press conference that has anything to do with soccer?
I don't even know what you're talking about. I used to work for a soccer team. I don't know what you're talking about.
Lost Toby says, I got cleated in the face yesterday. Magic water didn't work. Soccer has a VAR system. And that's what Lost Toby looks like. Lost Toby just put a picture of himself up. That's a fine beard you got there. And a face full of blood. He says, yeah, and that's after 3 towels of blood. Holy crap. Did you have to get stitches? Well, you're clearly alive because you're texting. But yeah, man, that's so you were playing soccer on purpose? Raven Kid says, Jeffrey, did you mean you're not hip or you don't have a hip? I don't have any fake hips yet, but we're getting there. Kiss the Cook says, Jeffrey, you won't survive in my family. You hug and you kiss when you walk in and when you leave. Well, I mean, okay, won't be in your family. I mean, survive, that's a strong thing.
Damn, you wanted to join so bad. And
listen, I've survived other situations. Let me give you an example. Even at church, where everybody wants to hug you and the old people just want to touch you because they're like, that's what new skin feels like. Come on, grandma, get off me. Anyway, so let's pretend this is a Bible, right? Even if you're at the church and you don't want to get hugging on people, I walked around carrying my Bible like this. Just sticking straight out my chest like, hey, good day. And then I'd have my hand, they'd come in for a hug and I'd be like, hey, all right, good to see you. Peace on you. No, peace on you, really. All right. So there's always a way out is what I'm trying to say, Kiss the Cook. The Berg says flopping is why he doesn't watch, and he's got something to get against Phoenix Rising fans. I don't know why. Big George says, oh, I like soccer because it's the world's #1 sport, and I love to see Team USA beat the world, their favorite sport, in the World Cup.
Hasn't happened very often.
Did that happen?
Well, there was a stretch there where they were good in the 90s.
Did we ever win one?
No, but
so we're the Phoenix Suns of soccer in the world.
Very competitive.
Been competitive, just never won.
Never won one. And then we only got competitive again recently. So we'll see how it goes.
Lost Toby just got a man card accreditation. You know how they patched up his bleeding face? He says, I got hot glued back together.
Oh my God.
Not bad. And he went back in the game.
Oh my God. Again.
Wow. That's amazing. All right, we got to take a break. We come back, we'll get caught up on your reasons for not liking to watch soccer. We'll commiserate more about the fact that Devin Booker is out 2 to 3 weeks, not 2 to 3 games. And of course, we got to talk about last night's games. And boy, is he good for you, man. You get to run with it. We're going to come back as more of the Daily Blender after this here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Up on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Heads up, sports bettors. Right now, you can try VSiN All Access free for 30 days with no credit card required. Visit vsin.com/free month to sign up now.
NBA first-round playoff action continues tonight. Things get underway with Memphis at Minnesota. The Timberwolves a 1.5-point underdog at home, plus 105 on the money line. Memphis minus 125. The over-under is 236.5. The best of 7 tied at 1 game apiece. The Utah Jazz back home hosting the Dallas Mavericks tonight. That series tied at 1-1. Utah favored by 6.5, minus 260. Dallas plus 220 on the money line. The over-under 210.5. Golden State visits Denver tonight. The Warriors lead the series 2-0. Denver's a 1.5-point underdog at home, plus 105 on the money line. Golden State minus 125. The over-under is 224. Get the latest lines and more at vsin.com.
NASCAR Championship weekend is back at Phoenix Raceway. Drivers will pull it all on the line to claim NASCAR greatness. The Truck Series Championship kicked things off Friday night under the lights.
We're going to tear it up tonight.
Followed by an action-packed Saturday, where fans will witness an ARCA and Xfinity Series Championship doubleheader.
Yeah.
Don't miss out on the action November 4th and 5th. Get your tickets now for NASCAR Championship weekend at PhoenixRaceway.com or call 866-408-RACE.
Do you want the best for your car? Then fill up with premium at Circle K. Circle K Premium is our best fuel with double the cleaning detergent, protecting your engine from corrosion and damage so it can work at its best. And that, my friend, increases your mileage for more cha-ching in your pocket. Plus, when you fill up with Premium at Circle K, you can save up to 20 cents per gallon. Offer valid Thursdays or Fridays at participating stores. For details, visit CircleK.com. Circle K, how convenient.
Business people like it straight and to the point. So here it is. Bruce Jacobs here to tell you take control of your utility expenses by calling Harmon Solar right now. They can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Level your energy costs, protect yourself from inflation. How's that for straight and to the point? Here's more. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past 2 years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of coverage is only $75 per month, level for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco user can buy $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110, guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rates for 20 years. And if you're a smoker, we have great rates for you as well. At the Term Lifeline, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. So if you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call right now for a free quote.
Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes are based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting exam required to qualify. 800-807-1981. 800-807-1981. 800-807-1981. That's 800-807-1981.
The Rams were built to win the Super Bowl.
Los Angeles Rams have won Super Bowl 56. But if you think that brought the end of the NFL season,
You'd better think again.
the NFL is a year-round beast, and we keep you in the know. Free agency, trades, retirements, hirings, firings, holdouts, injuries, training camps, and a whole lot more.
Football is always in season here.
We are 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Your home for football.
Staying Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Maybe I started that conversation about soccer as a diversionary method because I don't want to talk about the fact that Devin Booker is going to be out a long damn time. Maybe that's why, but I did. So, let's have some fun with it before we get into, the deep woods of sadness for what the Suns might be in for. I don't know. Maybe it's not sadness. Maybe they can adjust and keep going. They did it when he was out during the season. Stands the reason, but I don't know, man. Playoffs are different. 888-368-1580. Mars Bars 805 says, happy Thursday, guys. And happy Hi-Fi Day. I'll take an 805 and go Raiders, he says. He also says, Viva Mexico soccer team and Arriba las Chivas. Soccer players do it for 90 minutes. Oh, is that a bumper sticker right there? Soccer players do it for 90 minutes. You mean, so what you mean is they pretend to get hurt for 90 minutes. I guess that's all it means. Jagdog says, I hate everything about soccer. Scoring inning 0-0 or 1-0. It's boring. The flopping, just a bunch of dudes running. Okay. Good tip. Just a tip says, good afternoon, gentlemen. If Ayton wants to earn his max contract, I can't think of a better opportunity. I think he's been doing his job. There have been times where I was still like, same old Ayton, same old Ayton. But you can't say he's not doing his part, his job. So I can't get on that. But you're right. If he does step up and become a beast, how can you deny him?
I agree. I think this is a perfect opportunity for him to flash that value. I mean, he already has value to the team, but to be a kind of player who says, you know what, I'm going to put the team on my back because, our best scorer is off the floor. That's a perfect opportunity and a perfect way to say to the organization, pay me.
Mm-hmm. Listen, and nobody be upset about it if he did. Let's see. Heavy Metal Maniac says, just imagine being in an airplane and getting, we're going to get to that a little bit later on. Yes, that is too good. Raven Kid says, Suns are going to struggle without Booker, Pels and 6, unless Ayton goes out and tries to earn that contract. Yeah. Moist One says, that's the floppiest thing I've seen in soccer since that Hope Solo picture. What? Moist One's, thank you. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, if you don't know, Izzy, just picture roast beef, freshly cut. Let's see. Big George says Team USA finished third at the 1930 World Cup. So that's the best result they've had so far. Yeah. Phoenix Suns of soccer is, and listen, I'm a Suns fan, so that's just a fact. All right, so let's talk about what happened last night. How about Chris Middleton and the Milwaukee Bucks doing their best Suns impersonation? It just seems like everything that happens to us happens to them.
Mirror images.
Sort of.
Kind of. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's not good for the Bucks. But I'll tell you what. I'm going to let Izzy take it from here, actually. Yes. So the Bucks doing their Suns impersonation, the Chicago Bulls, where did this come from? Are you giving this win to the Bulls, Izzy, or are you saying it's just because the Bucks faltered and because of the injury?
I'm just gonna give it to the Bulls on this one. DeMar DeRozan was hitting shots he was hitting shots that he was taking in game one that he was bricking, and some of them that he was hitting over Giannis in game two. So he definitely lit it up. Zach LaVine had a quiet 20 points. He didn't contribute heavily to the team, but Alex Caruso just played a huge part in that game. Giannis had a good game in himself. Chris Middleton just unfortunately went down. Him and Bobby Portis. Bobby Portis got injured in the game as well, got elbowed in the face. And he tried to go back in, had to get back right out. So it was just a whole bad luck situation for the Milwaukee Bucks in that game. And just injuries, just the turnovers as well. Giannis was still heavily defended at the very end of the fourth quarter. So it was all looking good for the Bulls. Will they continue to do this for the whole series? I'm not sure.
Well, but you have to look at the points. Giannis Antetokounmpo had 33 points, 18 rebounds, 9 assists. I mean, that was some phenomenal numbers. In fact, he was just that one assist away from a triple-double. And last night, he increased his total to 1,715 points in the postseason, and that passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So you can't say that, well, yeah, they may have contained him and Oriel Cita had 50 points, but that just shows something else is going wrong with the Bucks, right?
A little bit, because I mean, Giannis has reached that level where LeBron was in his prime, where Kevin Durant was in his prime, where you just go, that guy's going to get his. The only way he doesn't, get to 30 is if he plays badly. And if you don't play good enough defense, he might get 50. So that's where Giannis is in terms of his ability to just get whatever he needs to for his team. But yeah, I do think that those other injuries really impacted the Bulls, but I also think that, or the Bucks rather, but I also think the Bulls answered the bell a whole lot more in terms of coming up to the fact that Giannis is going to be physical. Kyle Lowry's talked about it before, that if you want to play the Bucks and win, you just have to be prepared for a certain level of physical abuse from Giannis going to the basket, because he's going to run over whoever's in his way. And you just have to be able to take it. And I think that the Bulls felt that out a little bit more, and they were willing to take those shots from Giannis and answer.
Yeah, and the Bulls had an 18-point lead early in the third quarter. And of course, the Bucks did chip away at it and crawled back in, but you got to give credit to the Bulls for holding them off and continuing to go toe-to-toe with these guys and do what they had to do to win this game. So stealing one in Milwaukee is huge. So what do you see happening here next, Izzy? Give us your take, and then I'll go to Keon for reality.
I do think it's a possibility we could get another game in there, the Bulls, but just all in all, even without Chris Middleton, it's just hard to stop Giannis. It was one play specifically. Giannis was driving, and it took three people. Zach had to cover him as he was driving, picked up his dribble, spin move. Alex Caruso was there, and as soon as he got to the rim, Boots was there. That's three guys right there already that you're guarding, off of 3 steps. So it's just, Giannis is just a force to be reckoned with. It's hard to contain him. Brook Lopez shooting the ball amazingly. Drew Holiday didn't have the greatest game yesterday as he did in game one. If he continues, I think he'll come alive, especially throughout the series. So I think the Bucks are going to gain that momentum back.
So you kind of sound like what you're saying is the Bulls will maybe get one when they go back home, but it sounds like you have just sort of put up the flag and said, well, we surrender. We're getting beat.
I mean, yeah, I could be honest. I don't want to come in here and tell you guys the fandom opinion that they're going to go all the way in this, that, and the other. No, there's some reality to this. I think the Bulls can at least squeeze out one, and that's it.
It'd be great if the Bulls could just take down the Bucks completely. You're not going to go all the way. But if you could stop the Milwaukee Bucks, take advantage of the opportunity that's before you where Chris Middleton is out, keep playing with the kind of heart that your team has been showing both nights, actually. Maybe you can just play spoiler to the Milwaukee Bucks and, make life easier for everyone else in this, side of the country.
I mean, it's certainly possible. Because I wonder how the Bulls are going to change how they guard Giannis. Are they going to be more intense with how they guard Giannis now that you don't have to account for Chris Middleton and the range that he provides? Because I remember last year, Giannis was the one that got hurt, and Chris Middleton was the guy that was left playing games there before they got to the finals. And Chris Middleton did a better job carrying than anybody realized because he can shoot the three incredibly well. Giannis doesn't necessarily shoot that same shot consistently, and if he has an off night shooting, there's an opportunity for the Bucks the Bulls rather to just smother him and take him out of the game.
So what he's saying is as long as bad things happen to the Bucks, you might have a chance.
Well, Chris Middleton sprained his MCL, so that's a bad thing that's not going to be fixed anytime soon.
As long as horrible things happen to the Bucks, you may win a game. But hey, listen, congratulations. I'm sure it's a good feeling to know, at least at this very moment, you are tied with the world champion Milwaukee Bucks with a chance to, hold your head high and maybe get some more wins out of this. I am actually pulling for your Bulls now. I'm rooting for your Bulls. I'm not going to bet on them because I don't want to jinx them, but I'm telling you, I hope they win.
Is it because it's because you want to get Milwaukee out the way, right?
Oh yeah, no, it's completely self-interested.
Don't flatter yourself, kid. It's not about you.
He's just saying that to make you feel good, but it's completely self-interested.
Yeah, really. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't even know the Bulls were still playing, to be honest, for a while. I just thought maybe they folded the team or something. 888-368-1580. Lost Toby says, I stopped watching soccer because it has no caps. It's not competitive, and billionaires build super teams, and players have no team loyalty anymore.
If you think it's bad in Major League Baseball with the Yankees and the Dodgers and the buying players, I mean, it is worse, 10 times worse in soccer.
Well, I have absolutely nothing to say about that because I don't like soccer. So just sorry.
I'm just saying that's a very valid reason. Especially if you are somebody who likes soccer, that's a valid reason for someone to not watch.
Lost Toby's also saying, Doc told me not to play a couple of weeks, but what does he know? I'm definitely playing tonight. Dude, unless you play for the Phoenix Rising, maybe set a few out. Why would you go against your doctor's orders? And listen, you got to take care of yourself because we need all the listeners we can get. If you don't do it for yourself, do it for me. Senior Wake and Bake says, hey, Kaler, I can see you didn't quit the banjo.
What? Okay, that's just going to require a whole lot more context than I have.
I have zero context for that one. I don't know. Donnie says, a real game starts in an hour. Wolves in a blowout. Howl. I'm not going to do the howl, Donnie. I'm just not going to do it.
They can win, but I have a feeling this ain't going to be a blowout.
So, which is interesting, the real game, you notice that the really good game is always the last game, the headliner game. And tonight, that's the Golden State Warriors heading on over to Denver with a 2-0 lead on them. Before that, the Mavericks are in town with the Mormons to see what they can do. That series is tied. And of course, much to the surprise of many, the Timber Pups got a win. And now, you would think they've won the championship. So let's just see what happens tonight with them Grizzlies. We'll talk about these games a little bit more in depth here in just a moment. So before I move on, I don't want to spoil your moment there, Izzy. Is there anything else you wanted to say about the Bulls, the Bucks, that game, and that series?
No, I'm pretty happy about how everything's going. Back at home, I do think we're gonna squeeze out at least one game, but after that, yeah, I'm hoping for the best after that.
It's a life lesson, Izzy. You young man. You just enjoy the good times while you have them because they don't last.
Good. I'm smiling right now. I got a day and a half to be happy right now, so I'm good.
Anybody over the age of 30 is like, I know he's kidding, but that's so true. Berg says, has Minnesota pro sports won a championship in the last 20 years? Skol. Lost Toby says, I might not play Division I, but I play my D3 and co-ed team. I promised if there was blood, I'd stop and not use my face. There you go. Don't use your face, Les Toby. Kaler the Quitter says, why does Giannis get to play by a different set of rules? I swear he gets to be way more physical, but he's rarely in foul trouble.
It's a lot of the Shaq thing where if you called that the physicality of Giannis on every play, he'd foul out in 5 minutes. I mean, and the fact is he's not actually fouling people. He's going to the basket. He's not running through people who are, just standing there. If you come up to contest, you are getting destroyed. And that's not really against the rules because he's not putting his hands on you. He's not pushing you out of the way. It's all the physicality of the body contact. They're just not going to call that every time.
Yeah, but on the other end, as Kaler says, he did shoot more free throws than the entire Bulls roster. So there is something off right there. Joe the Show says, just going to let you guys know right now, the Bulls are not beating the Bucks, even without Middleton.
Thank you. I feel like we had that conversation. We've been going back and forth about the Bucks. Now, I don't think anybody in here has the Bulls going over the Bucks.
Yeah, but a man can dream. Give him this moment. Is this happy moment.
If at the end of game 4 you're tied it to a piece, I think the dream should be alive.
Yeah, but I don't know. Let's just be cool with this 1-1 because if we rush this and it's 4-1 and we're out, I'm gonna be hurt.
All right. We're pulling for you, kid. All right. The other game last night, 76ers took out the Toronto Raptors at home. And, you got to like that. That means them filthy Canadians have not won a game yet in these playoffs. Not that I have any love for the 76ers, but, you got to give them credit. They didn't hold a lead in the entirety of regulation play until they were able to push it to overtime. And then they just got it done with Embiid 3. And that's pretty impressive right there. And I hope, why is Drake not at the Raptor games, by the way? Why is he?
Drake was there being annoying. He was chasing Joel Embiid into the locker room after Embiid made the shot. No, he's being his usual annoying self at these games.
He keeps talking about going to the Warrior games. So I didn't think he was there. So he is still hanging out being annoying.
Yeah. No, he was also being annoying at the Warriors game too. Yeah, he's rich, so
that's
he
just
can
what
do
he
both.
does. He's annoying. Oh, he's annoyingly rich too.
Yeah, I can't stand Drake. Just
insane.
So now Matisse Thybulle, am I saying that right?
Thybulle.
Yeah, whatever. He didn't get to go play because he's not vaccinated, so they didn't let him into Canada. Is that going to, so far it hasn't been that much of a factor since the 76ers are doing okay, but that's kind of a weird thing to know that you're having a hard time beating a team you should beat easily because the guy's not there because he didn't get vaxxed up.
And he's one of their best defensive players, and that's an issue, obviously. And he's a guy that can take away, an OG Anunoby, a Scotty Barnes. He's that kind of defender. He's a shutdown kind of dude. So for him to not be there does make life a little bit more difficult for the Sixers. But you know what? Kyrie Irving did the same thing. He wasn't vaxxed up, couldn't play in the state of New York for the entire season. And now here they are, playing the Celtics in the first round when maybe they could have avoided the play-in game altogether. Maybe you're a 4 or 5 seed if Kyrie plays more games.
Yeah, that's one of them things, right?
Like if winning is that important to you,
then
it ought to be that important to you.
I don't want to fight this fight.
Yeah. Look, how important is it to you? If it's
just saying. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about the Celtics and the Nets, and of course the Kyler Murray news that everybody is chattering about as well. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
NASCAR Championship weekend is back at Phoenix Raceway. Drivers will pull it all on the line to claim NASCAR greatness. The Truck Series Championship kicked things off Friday night under the lights. We're going to tear it up tonight. Followed by an action-packed Saturday, where fans will witness an ARCA and Xfinity Series Championship doubleheader. Don't miss out on the action November 4th and 5th. Get your tickets now for NASCAR Championship weekend at PhoenixRaceway.com or call 866-408-RACE.
Seems like everything is going electric these days. Electric cars, electric trucks. But what you save on gas, you pay for with that electric bill. With all these things being plugged into your house, wouldn't it be nice to save up to 85% on your monthly electric bill? Well, you can do that with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Call Harmon Solar. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
What if I told you there's a wealth management firm that offers a 100% satisfaction guarantee? Think it doesn't exist? Think again.
Hi, I'm Mo Ansari, president of Compact Asset Management. When you start a new relationship with Compact, we'll create your customized investment portfolio and financial plan dedicated to help you reach your goals. Try us out for a year. If you're not happy for any reason, you'll get all of the management and maintenance fee that you paid refunded. This is our 100% satisfaction guarantee.
Dial pound 250 on your cell phone and use the keyword talk to Mo to find out more. Again, from your cell phone, dial pound 250, keyword talk to Mo. Satisfaction guarantee doesn't apply to fees and commissions charged by third parties for such things as insurance products or mutual fund redemptions. It also doesn't apply to any market losses which might occur in an account. For additional information regarding this guarantee, please see the disclosure brochure available at the time you enroll or upon request.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor. Funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA SIPC.
500 apiece, you get to that fine for 502 apiece. What is that for a head of that 150?
The best weekly auction is right here in Arizona. It's only a click of the mouse away from great deals on almost everything. Visit liquidateaz.com for weekly auctions on everyday household items, antiques from around the world, sports and non-sports cards, memorabilia and autographs, comic books, comic character collectibles, Native American, pots, jewelry, rugs, and sterling silver. Liquidateaz.com weekly auctions is the place for great deals on works of art, gold and silver, coins and U.S. currency, gold and sterling jewelry, vintage LP vinyl records, vintage electronics, ham radio, RC cars, planes, and boats. Interested in antique clocks, watches, and timepieces, or a wide variety of sports equipment, including hunting, fishing lures, poles, and gear. How about military collectibles, medals, uniforms, or helmets? All at liquidateaz.com. Looking to liquidate an estate? Liquidateaz.com can help with estate sales and consignment services. Liquidateaz.com for information.
This is Brent Musburger. Don't miss Pro Football Blitz, Saturday afternoons, right here on Arizona's sports betting station, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
So Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic, and we're talking NBA playoffs, but keep in mind we also got some games tonight to talk about. We'll do that a little bit later on, but we got the Grizzlies and the Timber Pups at 4:30 p.m. We got the Mavericks and the Mormons at 6 p.m. Then, of course, the Golden State Warriors with the Nuggets at 7. And listen, you got time. You got time to go ahead and make some bets. If you haven't done it yet, if you haven't downloaded the DraftKings Sportsbook app, this is a good opportunity to do so. Make sure you use promo code BET1580. And I'll tell you what, this week, new customers can bet $5 on any team to win and get $150 in free bets instantly. You win no matter what. And if you're already a member, well, you work them same game parlays. Go for it. Get creative, because each day of the first round, you get a risk-free bet up to $10 if your same game parlay doesn't hit. So win, win, win. You have some fun. So that's what you got to do. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use promo code BET1580, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. You got to be 21 years or older, Arizona resident only. If you got a gambling problem, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. New customers only, minimum $5 deposit. Eligibility restrictions do apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for the details. So tonight, I think if we're honest, turn the TV on about 7 p.m.
Well, first off, last night, all three of those games were fantastic. So maybe we get a repeat performance tonight. But I've also noticed that they think that the first game is going to be pretty good, because that game's on TNT. And they think, obviously, tonight's game at 7 is going to be really good. It's that Mavs Jazz game that they've stuck on NBA TV that they are deeply uninterested in showing to anybody.
Yeah, I you know what? I'm going to go get some fried chicken after the show. I'm going to go to Fry's and get me some of that. By the way, have you tried the Fry's fried chicken yet?
I have.
So am I right or not?
You are correct.
So it's the best damn chicken taste you can get.
It's delicious.
Oh, is he? You got to get yourself to a Fry's food store. Go get an 8-piece fried chicken and tell me if that's not some of the best damn fried chicken you've had. And Kroger is what fries is. So if you've been to California and had Kroger, or if you've been other places and it was some other name, same recipe. When I was, I say doing time in California, when I was working at the station in Southern Cal, they had Ralph's. That's a Kroger. And I would go in there, exactly. Whatever they do with their flavor, they do it universally. So trust me, Keon's been here nearly a year. I bet he wishes he'd tried it sooner.
I did. Well, I've tried it 3 times since I did eventually. So yeah.
Only 3?
Well, yeah, because I'm trying not to eat fried chicken all the time.
Chicken's good for you. That's what I tell my wife.
Yeah, no, well, my mom is a nurse, and so most of the conversation, honestly, that I have with her is about am I eating well? You're not eating more of that fried chicken, are you? Like, no. Why would you say that? Because she worries about health a lot. That's her.
So does my wife. You know, I did luck on some chorizo the other day that I haven't had in a while, and got it in a small town in Arizona, and and I treated that like gold. I had that a couple of different times, and I'm like, "You brought it for me." I because this is the thing is we first got together. We would go to San Diego. She's like, "Here, try this." I'd never had chorizo. So I had chorizo and eggs. And I'm like, "This is the best thing ever." And I'm like, I'm eating this every day. So we get back home and she finds out that like every other day I'm going to habaneros over there, getting a breakfast burrito with chorizo, egg, bacon, and cheese. And she's like, are you kidding? She's like, that'll kill you. I'm like, what? It's just so much cholesterol. Like, why did you give this to me? Just to take it away. And then we had to negotiate. And she says it's healthy for me. She wants once a year, but I think I got her to once a month. But then, with COVID, I didn't have any for a long time. So I think I'm due. I think I'm due a chorizo binge. But since she's listening, I'm definitely not going to do that.
So eating that is like a week of gym work after that. Like, is it one of them like you eat it and you're just feeling like you're feeling horrible?
Except for that whole part about gym time, I don't do that. There's not
necessary,
and that's why she won't let me eat it. I think. 888-368-1580. All right, so let's talk about the Celtics and the Brooklyn Nets. Boy, oh boy, this is upside down. Everybody, what's with the Nets super team? And of course, we knew the Boston Celtics were pretty good. I think didn't Randy predict them for the?
He did.
Yeah, to get to the finals. But you didn't expect this to be this way. That it was just it's possible a blowout. Is it possible a sweep? Could the Celtics sweep the Nets?
I don't think so.
If they do, Steve Nash needs to be fired immediately.
I don't think that they're going to sweep the Nets. I don't remember exactly who had the lead last year in that series before it went 7 games, but somebody started off 2-0 and then it balanced out. So I don't think that they were out of the woods yet with either of these teams, but they are making life hell for Kevin Durant. That is what I've noticed.
He acknowledges, at least he takes responsibility. He says, yeah, they've got me. I just got to figure out a way around it. At least he's not being a baby about it.
Yeah, he's a guy that usually takes responsibility for whenever he plays poorly. He usually doesn't throw anybody else under the bus because he considers himself the best shooter in basketball. And so when he has bad shooting performances, he believes that's all on himself. But I mean, they are beating him up. It's a physical thing more than anything. And I don't know how he gets around it.
He's so skinny. I was like, he's got no meat to beat up. So that's got to hurt even worse when it hits the bone.
Yeah, I mean, because it's elbows, and I'm watching it, and I know that the referees can't necessarily call it because it's not somebody, ramming something into him. It's just more of, oh, he's coming around the corner. My elbow's already out, so he's coming around the corner. He doesn't see it. He runs right into it. Well, that's not a foul. So that they figured out ways to get at him physically and make shooting incredibly difficult for Kevin Durant.
By the way, yesterday we were kind of figuring out why Kyrie Irving left the floor. I thought maybe he went to pray because it was Ramadan. You thought it was probably about the food thing. And you were right. It turned out he came out of the locker room. He actually came out with food. So couldn't somebody have just brought that to him? You know what I'm saying? Or just had it ready, like a cooler and gone, it's time. Right there.
Yeah.
I just thought that was kind of weird. I mean, or maybe he did both. Maybe he prayed and then ate the food. I don't know. But hey, I mean, whatever works. But as far as it went in the what the hell is Kyrie doing poll, Keon got it right. Well done.
Yeah, look, and the Nets just it's up and down. It's night and day with them. Like you see, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are usually the ones mainly with the top two scoring leaders. But you got Bruce Brown, Seth Curry, Goran Dragic, like those three guys, themselves, they usually are the reinforcements. And usually if the reinforcements are up, KD or Kyrie, or 90% of the time it was Kyrie because he wasn't playing most of the season. It was KD that was mostly the scoring leader. But the reinforcements stepped up in game 2. Kyrie and KD didn't. If everybody is flowing together, I think the Celtics is going to be down at least 2-2 because, it's going to be at home now. I think Brooklyn has the advantage going back home.
And if everybody's not gelling together and you're seeing some parts of them step up, another part that, should be stepping, you start to wonder about the coaching, don't you? You start to wonder about Steve Nash. Is he just a babysitter? Or is he just a guy they like hanging around? Or is he actually doing some real coaching? And I'm not kidding. If they go out of this first round, maybe not get swept, but if they go out of the first round, Steve Nash very well may find himself in trouble. I think that stands to reason. You do everything you did to get the Nets where they are right now, and to fail like this.
But the thing is, this is just a tough first round matchup. I don't know if he should be fired behind this, just because this Celtics team, if you lose to them and they wind up going to the finals, for instance, is that something to be ashamed of? I know that this team is a quote unquote super team, but you haven't seen Ben Simmons yet. And so we'll see, what happens when they add him to the mix. But
when's he back? I heard a rumor.
They said that the next game will be his season debut, because
they're going to kind of trickle him in, or is he full go?
That they haven't said. And I think they're probably going to keep that information close to the chest until game time.
All right. Well, as it is now, the Celtics have a 2-0 lead over the Nets. And boy, this is a surprise to me. Good Cat says, "Sup, guys? Jeffrey, don't jinx my Celtics." Wait a minute. I'm always baffled. He's a Colts fan and a Celtics fan. That makes not very much sense. But I'm not jinxing him. I didn't say I'm not going to finish that. I'm not going to say that. During the playoffs, I'm not going to screw with anybody's teams except for the Lakers. I would, if they were in here, I'd be messing with them all the time. But all right. So that's what happened last night. What is going to happen tonight, guys? The Memphis Grizzlies, Minnesota Timberpups, first game up at 4:30. It's tied 1-1. Are we surprised that it's tied? Is this something that Memphis should be able to, get under control, or are we in for a fist fight here?
We're in for a fist fight. These two teams are pretty evenly matched. They're both young, so no team has a ton of experience over the other. And both of their star players, physical guys, can get to the basket, super athletic, but also can shoot from range. And Anthony Edwards for the Timberwolves and John Morant for the Grizzlies. I think we are actually set up here for a fist fight, because the matchups, they're very similar teams.
Ooh, we just got news that Big George sent over. The Milwaukee Bucks star Chris Middleton has been ruled out for the rest of the first round series versus the Bulls with that MCL sprain. So, you know what? I see you trying to not smile. I see you trying and failing to not smile, Izzy. Nobody wants anybody injured, but the opportunity now presents itself for your Bulls, doesn't it?
I would want the Bulls to win and, have the big heroic moment of taking down Giannis, Chris Middleton, the whole 9 yards. But it's just unfortunate circumstances. Obviously, like you said, we don't want to see nobody injured, but it's going to be a good series.
Now that he's injured,
it's not like we wished it on him, but here it is. Lost Toby says, I wouldn't mind the Nets getting swept. Joe the Show says, what we're watching right now is Jason Tatum. Keep the Celtics in the game and the Brooklyn Nets dysfunction of chemistry. With that said, I'm keeping my money where I put it, ending in a 7-game series with the Nets on top. 888-368-1580. Moist One says, why does that Mo guy always say he's sorry? No, it's Mo and sorry.
That's his name.
He might be Canadian. Maybe I've heard it wrong all these years. Mr. Pink Eye says, I think if the Phoenix had an MLS team, people in Phoenix would be more interested. A team of people with muscular dystrophy?
No, Major League Soccer.
Oh, right, that one. MLS. Sorry, I get my acronyms confused sometimes. I thought I was kind of mean to Mr. Pink Eye. Why would he say that? All right, guys, when we come back, the story of Kyler Murray, the epic saga continues. Let's see. Keim said a thing. Kyler Murray said a thing. But the thing that really matters is what Papa Bidwell just said. We'll tell you all about that when we come back. We also have Keon Rose's top 5, but not quite 5 on the way, too. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
NASCAR Championship weekend is back at Phoenix Raceway. Drivers will put it all on the line to claim NASCAR greatness. The Truck Series Championship kicked things off Friday night under the lights. We're going to tear it up tonight. Followed by an action-packed Saturday, where fans will witness an ARCA and Xfinity Series Championship doubleheader. Don't miss out on the action November 4th and 5th. Get your tickets now for NASCAR Championship weekend at PhoenixRaceway.com or call 866-408-RACE.
This is Aaron Warby, host of the Bulls and the Bears Radio Hour. In the show, we try to teach the tools, rules, and strategies that traders and investors need to do better with their wealth and portfolio income. But most of the time, an hour is just not long enough. At Online Trading Academy, we believe that the average person should be given the tools, rules, and strategies that Wall Street's elites have been using for years to outperform others. Are you one of the millions that have recently established a trading account? Or have you always wanted to trade or take a more active role in guarding and growing your own wealth, but have not had the know-how or confidence? We want to invite you out to a complimentary 3-hour power trading and investing workshop, where you'll learn what it is that the professionals use to limit their risks and maximize their possible gains in both trading and investing. To register, call 8448-TRADER. That's 844-887-2337, or text the word stocks to 25029. Again, that's stocks to 25029. Reserve your seat now.
Your home has gone way up in value, but have you taken advantage of it? This is Rob Canier with a phenomenal opportunity to tap into some of your home equity, earning tax-free income and eliminating your mortgage payment while staying in your home as long as you want. With home prices leveling off, don't wait to learn more about the new reverse mortgage. This is a safe and proven money-saving and tax-free income opportunity for homeowners age 62 and older. Call me, Reverse Rob, and learn more today at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
There's no doubt that Harman Solar can save you up to 85% on your monthly electric bill. That's a fact. Bruce Jacobs here. But did you know it's possible to get solar for $0 down and no payments for 12 months? You can lease, finance, or even purchase outright. They have plans that fit everybody. Harman Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harman Solar at 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmansolar.com. Contractors, listen up. This is Bruce Jacobs. Are you missing out on jobs due to lack of bonding? When your current bonding holds you back, call Arizona's #1 bond managers at Constructors Bonding. They have the market relationships and expertise to take you where you want to go, serving all types of contractors of any size and license in all states. When you need better bonding, call Dave McKee at Constructors Bonding, 602-432-5929, or visit cbialliance.com.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it.
All right, buddy, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. And good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside not Randy White, not Ralph from Harman Solar. We got Izzy in the studio. We got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, broadcasting live from the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And Oopla says, wait, where the hell is Ralph? Damn it. Oh, well, guess I'm back to you, Keon. Shut the hell up. And hi, Izzy. Hi, radio pal.
Hey.
So for the record, I think he's going to still be angry with you for perceived Texans dissing. I think that's it, right?
He's going to be angry with me for having functioning eyeballs, and there's nothing I can do about that.
No,
I'm not
mean,
blind. What could I do?
You're absolutely 100% right. So you may as well be mad at me too. I'm in that division. And what a bleep show the Texans are. Anyway, I don't want to talk about that bleep show. I want to talk about the local bleep show. And so here's the chain of events so far. So earlier, Steve Keim came out and said, there's absolutely no way, no chance that we are going to trade Kyler Murray, which made me think about when Pete Carroll said the same thing about Russell Wilson. So, and then Kyler Murray came out and said, I am 100% about what Steve Keim said. And he also had posted up a thing on his Twitterverses saying, I want to win Super Bowls with the Cardinals. Arizona is my home. So now a lot of people are cheering, yay, it's over. He's happy. He's staying. No, that's about his intent, about what he wants. It's also a PR move so that he does not look like the bad guy in what is still going to be a struggle between him and the Arizona Cardinals. Right now, it's just, I love you. No, I love you more. No, I love you more. I love you more. That's what they're doing right now. None of this matters. What matters is when you see Kyler Murray show up at either a workout or a training camp and actually start participating in the act and intent of playing football. That is when any of this will matter. Outside of that, it's polite posturing, if you ask me. None of this makes a difference. He can say, I want to win Super Bowls in Arizona with the Cardinals. This is my home. And, they wouldn't give me the deal I want. So this is just business. See ya, suckers. That's how that whole thing would play out. And the same thing with the team. Well, there's no way we would ever trade Kyler Murray. But he pushed us to this point, and we had no choice. We had to go ahead and make a change and do what was right for the team. So this, what you heard from Bidwell, this, what you heard from Keim, and this, what you heard from Kyler Murray, is an incomplete sentence, each one of them, because the sentence can always be completed in the way I just explained.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Matisse Tybal thing, where I think he wanted to be.
You're just taunting that you know how to say his name and I don't.
No, that's not what this is about.
That came easy to me.
Oh, congratulations! I mean,
Bismack Biyombo.
It took a long time for all of us to get Antetokounmpo. As it's that's not just you, but I'm saying I'm sure he wanted to be in Toronto playing with his team, but that desire only went but so far. And I think that same is true for both of these sides. Kyler wants to be in Arizona. I think he wants to be a Cardinal, but it goes but so far because he would rather also have money that high-level quarterbacks are making right now. And I think the same is true for the team. They'd rather keep Kyler, but it only goes but so far. They're not willing to pay him yet.
Playing loose with the English language with that but so far thing, or am I supposed to picture Kyler Murray doing a butt scoot across the road? Because that's what's happening right now.
Wow.
That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing little Kyler Murray doing what my dog does out in the yard. Thank God my dog does it in the yard and not inside. Got a lot of tiles, so that's not going to really work for him.
Just derailed that entire train of thought there.
Sorry, you said but so far like 7 times. Of course I'm going to notice it.
I'm trying to make that comparison between the thing I just said before and this thing. It only goes so far. And
there you go. Why would you throw a butt in there?
I don't know. That's just the way that I've always said it.
I got crap for saying we are butt men. Everybody's like, you're a butt man. Like, okay, I guess I can't say that. Well, sorry, Shakespeare. Moving on. Zero chance he'll be traded. ... Everything these guys say should be followed with ... because it is nowhere near being close to over. Let's see. You know what, Keon? Since we gave Izzy that special moment to really just have his say when it came to the Bulls and their win last night. You demand when it comes to college sports and basketball more than anybody. So I'm gonna let you have your say on Villanova coach Jay Wright, who says, "I'm out, I'm retiring. See ya." That was unexpected. Do we have any idea on what is that about? Hopefully it's not a health issue, but what are your thoughts on Jay Wright just walking on, leaving Villanova after 21 very successful seasons?
It was stunning. It was stunning to everybody in the college basketball world. Jay Wright is one of, if you just rank a bunch of coaches, Jay Wright has to be in your top 3 of coaches in college basketball right now for how successful he's been, especially over the last 10 years. 9 straight NCAA tournament appearances, multiple Final Fours, 2 championships. He's been incredibly successful. and he's just 60 years old. I mean, there's plenty of coaching ahead of him if he wanted it. And obviously this is something that he no longer wants. And sometimes when you're done, but nobody saw any health issues. He hasn't cited any health issues. He just decided he was going to hang it up.
Something big's coming.
And he's been offered multiple NBA jobs. I mean, every single time the 76ers have needed a coach in the last 4 years, call Jay Wright up first. He's in Villanova. Villanova's in Philly. I mean, so
yeah, you're right. Maybe this is a thing where some NBA team has already said, okay, you're our guy as soon as this season's over. And is he known as a good guy? Because if he's a good guy, he's going to clear out of Villanova as soon as possible to help them try to find their next guy. I mean,
and they've already tapped their next guy.
Yeah, but his name's Neptune. I can't take that dude seriously. But Kyle Neptune?
Yeah, I mean, he's somebody that worked at Villanova before. Came up the ranks there as I believe like their video coordinator, a guy that just collected all the film, cut it up for them to do breakdowns and things of that nature, and worked his way up to coaching position and got a coaching job elsewhere. So I really do think that that's the guy that they're going to roll with as their future head coach. And the fact that they moved to him that quickly and it wasn't a coaching search tells me that they probably knew that Jay Wright was going to step down, and he allowed them to be able to find the next guy and transition pretty smoothly.
Exactly what I'm thinking, Hefty Lefty. Should we be expecting a report on NCAA violations in the next month or two?
I don't think so. I mean, maybe you could say that, but if Jay Wright had a history of that sort of thing, but he really hasn't. Jay Wright is not a guy that has built his team by getting a bunch of 5-star guys. He got a bunch of 3-star guys, maybe 4-star guys, and then they didn't go to the NBA. They stayed 2 years. They stayed 3 years, some of them seniors. And then he coached them up. And those are the guys that were able to win national championships for his teams. So if he were involved in some kind of NCAA violation, I
wouldn't be surprised. You got to pay those guys somehow.
I mean,
you're going to say something else.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, because the kind of guy that's getting a 3-star offer, and he's a 3-star and he's getting an offer, that's not the guy you're paying. The guys that Bill Self was getting at Kansas, those are the guys you pay. The kind of guys that Rick Pitino was getting at Louisville, those are the guys you pay. So I would be kind of stunned if that was
he paid people with hookers, so.
Which was
the Pitino thing.
Very bizarre, but also very on brand for Rick Pitino.
Big George says, breaking news, the Arizona Diamondbacks have defeated the Washington Nationals 4-3 to split the 4-game series with the Nationals. Diamondbacks have now improved their season record to 5-8 and now return home to play the New York Mets tomorrow at Chase Field. Thank you, George. Sorry, Keon.
Yeah, no,
sorry.
I was prepared for this. I'm a little sad because it's 2019 was a championship year and they didn't try to keep the team together at all. They didn't try to push it. They just, and people talk, somebody, I think it might've been Big George, brought up the attendance yesterday for Washington fans. You just saw your team win a championship and then the ownership group not even try to keep the team together.
The last few days have been a bit rough for the Nationals. They had a special thing, and somebody mentioned this yesterday on the text line, but the U.S. Capitol had to be evacuated last night when a plane was misidentified as a possible threat, which it was just a plane filled with U.S. Army parachuters who were doing a little demonstration at the Nationals game. And of course, they see this plane coming in. So Capitol Police quickly came out and said, we evacuated because we thought, that might be a thing. But then, we were just out of abundance of caution. And the parachuters were able to proceed as planned, and they did their thing. Of course, Nancy Pelosi was very surprised, but you couldn't see it on her face. That face is stuck that way. So, yeah, emotions are. Anyway, the failure to notify Capitol Police of the flyover, she said, was outrageous and inexcusable. The military knew what was going on. They should have told somebody. And so, yeah, that's not a good look for the Nationals there. But you guys beat the crap out of the Diamondbacks first 2 games. And then the Diamondbacks beat the crap out of you the next 2 games. Yeah. So they're just the same team then, right?
That's correct. I think the record is now the same again. So yeah, they are the same team, which is, again, you're that closely removed from a championship. Why on earth would you? Anyway, whatever. Whatever. I'm done talking about it.
I feel your pain. Lost Toby says New York Mets are scary. Kiss the Cook says, okay, DO implants are dental implants. A little more clarification in the title equals no jumping to conclusion. I feel like I'm getting texts out of order.
Maybe.
He says, oh, no, maybe it's my poor personal interpretation. Is there something sexist with the LPGA sponsor being DO implants? Oh, he thought they were, huge tracts of land implants and not dental. I hear you, Kiss the Cook. No, that's a good call. Bruno Baller says, Neptune, you better be successful or they will kick Uranus out of there. All right. Uranus was actually in the news. I just was pausing to let you guys giggle like third graders. No, actually, in the world of science, astronomers are saying that probing Uranus should be top priority. They want NASA to stop putting it off and go for it. They say we still haven't studied Uranus in depth. They want to create something called the Uranus Orbiter and Probe, so it orbit around it, then drop a probe deep into Uranus's atmosphere. Not just the tip; they're going deep in. They say it could unlock all sorts of secrets hidden by the clouds covering Uranus. For example, we still don't know what Uranus is made of. Unfortunately, it won't happen quickly. Could take a while. If they get started now, though, they said that we could be probing Uranus in about 10 years. Yeah, I know the actual pronunciation is Uranus.
Yeah, no, that's not in my science classes growing up.
Uranus. It's always Uranus.
My poor science teacher trying to keep the class from laughing. Impossible.
So it's probably a good thing that Randy is not here at this moment, because what I'm about to talk about might send him into fits. But Shohei Ohtani made history before he even got on the mound yesterday. It was a big night for him in Houston. So here's what happened. I guess they had a lot of offense going, and so here comes Shohei Ohtani. He goes on up the bat. And then, 11 guys got up the bat. And so he got to go twice. And he walked the first one, but he hit a double on the next one. And so that meant that he is the first starting pitcher in the modern era since 1900 to bat twice in the top of the first inning before even taking a mound.
That's pretty incredible. And he got on base both times. I mean, he got on base, but the other thing is he got on base 3 times out of 4 that night. And so that right there, contributed to his stats. And of course, he pitched really nicely. He was working on a perfect game until somebody singled the center and, it took care of the no-no. But 10 strikeouts through 5 perfect innings. There's only been, 3 times that's happened for the Angels since 1974. Last night, Shohei Ohtani. April 8th, 2018, Shohei Ohtani. June 8th, 1977, Nolan Ryan. Listen, I wish, actually, now that I think of it, I wish Randy was here, because he is proving he is deserved to be an MVP last year. And you got to admit, he's making a hell of a case right now. Yeah, I mean, I last year he was in that conversation the whole way through, and I think he ought to be in this conversation again. He is doing things we haven't seen in decades, and in some cases since Babe Ruth. So I understand where Randy is coming from, that the sports media does.
Yeah, it's more about the media, I think, the annoyance.
Yeah, they do give Shohei a lot of love in ways that guys who are pitching out of their minds right now don't necessarily get that attention. Guys who are hitting like crazy don't necessarily get that attention. We're giving it to Shohei specifically because he can do both, but he's doing impressive things because he can do both. And I do think that if we're going to blame anybody, sure, you could blame the media, and you should. They're being weird about this, but you could also blame our own system of stuff. We turn these young athletes into specialists as soon as we can, and the guys that can hit and pitch, by the time you're done with Little League, that's maybe no longer a thing in a lot of cases. You get to high school and coaches are like, okay, you're a pitcher, you're hitting, et cetera. And we divide them up. we're starting to see the value of having a two-way guy in Major League Baseball.
Well, 12 strikeouts, that tied his career high, and it's not like Houston can't hit. They're not easy to send back to the dugout, if you know what I mean. So, I got to give him props. And Randy always will admit he is a good player. He just thinks that the hype is overhyped. That's all. It's really more. We could probably save a lot of time if we just had Randy say, "I hate ESPN," and then we just move on with our lives. You know, that just makes things quicker. Hey, you were saying that you were kind of feeling down about your Washington Nationals and your crowd totals the other, but don't feel bad because the Oakland A's, they I think have it worse. They now have record low attendance for the second straight game. On let's see, Tuesday, 3,748. And yesterday, 2,703. Wow. Now, to keep an eye on, a couple thousand. Okay. Couple thousand. Seems like, well, that's some. But in a giant baseball stadium.
No, that's the numbers that were being reported. That would be a good night for when I was in Chattanooga, the Chattanooga Lookouts, the AA team. Those are good numbers for that. That's not good numbers for a Major League Baseball team in any way.
Yeah, and by the way, tickets $10 for getting into the Treehouse Plaza. View level seats for $19. Just really no reason for that. But they did have at least 17,500 for their opening day. But maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that it's Oakland and Oakland is scary. I don't know. I don't have the answers. All I know is 2,703 people. That is pretty bad. 888-368-1580. We got to take a break. When we come back, we'll get caught up on all Uranus texts that you're sending. And we also have more to do. Oh, we're going to have to do the Keon Rose top 5 and not quite 5. Come on back, kids. It's Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This baseball season, turn Ks into cash and big hits into big wins with FanDuel Sportsbook. Right now, new customers can step up to the plate with a risk-free first bet up to $1,000. Just sign up, place your first bet, and FanDuel will refund you up to $1,000 back in site credit if you don't win. See for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and sign up using promo code DALE1580 to get started with your risk-free first bet up to $1,000. That's promo code DALE1580. You must be 21 or older and present in Arizona. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as a non-withdrawable site credit that expires 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342.
NASCAR Championship weekend is back at Phoenix Raceway. Drivers will put it all on the line to claim NASCAR greatness. The Truck Series Championship kicked things off Friday night under the lights. We're going to tear it up tonight. Followed by an action-packed Saturday, where fans will witness an ARCA and Xfinity Series Championship doubleheader. Don't miss out on the action November 4th and 5th. Get your tickets now for NASCAR Championship weekend at PhoenixRaceway.com or call 866-408-RACE.
If you're age 62 or older and own a home, this message is for you. Reverse Rob here, Money Radio's expert on reverse mortgages. Learn how to tap the equity in your home and increase the quality of your life by earning tax-free income while protecting your other retirement assets. Join us for our free Second Saturdays webinar every month to learn more. This is not too good to be true. All you need to do is reverse your thinking. Call me today, Reverse Rob, to learn more at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
Will Shakespeare here. Back in my day, I invented over 1,700 slang words like swagger, bedazzled, and my personal favorite, besmirch. But even I have trouble understanding slang words like yeet or bougie or this is fire. Actually, it is extremely smooth Shakespeare vodka.
Okay, boomer.
See what I mean? But there is one word that describes the pure quadruple distilled spirit crafted from an 8th century Polish recipe the first time you try it. So lit. I couldn't have said it better myself. Shakespeare vodka. So lit.
We just can't help it. We have to do it. It's in our DNA. At 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, we have to bring you the most epic moments in sports.
Racing, Arizona Matters football, golf, Vegas Raiders, March Madness, NFL playoffs, and the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we can't help it. We are 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Welcome back to the Daily Blender. Well, the NBA playoffs are here, and you can make every single game feel like Game 7 on the FanDuel Sportsbook app, an official partner of the NBA. Now, throughout all the playoffs, all customers can place a no-sweat same-game parlay each week. You get up to $20 in free bets if you don't win. FanDuel has so many great ways to play. And best of all, when you do win, you get paid faster than a fast break. If you're new to FanDuel, just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Sign up with promo code Randy1580. Once again, that's promo code Randy1580. And if you already have an account, you're all set, ready to go. All set to bet, no sweat. Either way, you get up to $20 in free bets if your same game parlay during the playoffs doesn't win. FanDuel Sportsbook, an official partner of the NBA. Remember, you've got to be 21 or older, present in Arizona. Refund issued as a non-withdrawable free bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Max free bet, $20 per week. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? You need to call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342.
There you go, 888-368-1580. All right, we got to get caught up on the text line real fast, and then we're going to get to Keon Rose's top 5 at not quite 5. Good Cat says, if Kyler Murray was to do the butt scoot, he doesn't have far to go because he's a miniature human being. Boomer Sooner says, watch Jay Wright pull a Lincoln Riley and bolt to a big school like SC or something.
Yeah, but Lincoln just left. He just went to USC because you don't have to retire to do that. You can just leave. It's kind of crappy for the college players, but you can just leave.
Against the spread, says Kyler Murray's upset about the length of the grass at State Farm Field. Let me explain. The grass is way too long. It's so long it tickles his McNuggets when he scrambles, and that's why he had so many bad passes last year. The guy can't concentrate. Hefty Lefty says, can't wait till they follow Futurama's lead and rename Uranus to get rid of that childish joke. They change it to Urectum. Lost Toby says, Vlad Jr. was the MVP and the voters got it wrong. And by the way, did Uranus give consent? Just a Tip says, you said just the tip in Uranus. Not going to happen. But I am willing to talk about a reverse cowgirl thing. Okay, easy there. Senior Wake and Bake says, Babe Ruth says, I did that after a few hot dogs in a sip pack. Twidiot says, afternoon, gents. All I know is whatever you do with Uranus, that is your own business. Fair enough, and you are correct. All right, it is time now, ladies and gentlemen, for Keon Rose's top 5 at not quite 5.
All right, here it is.
Oh, you have music.
Yeah, I found some.
That's not
it's not the usual music, but it's just gonna have to work for now because Randy took the usual music.
Well, this isn't bad.
Yeah, I hoped it would fit. So here it is, the top 5, not at 5. The 5 issues that must be addressed by the Arizona Cardinals this offseason. We're heading into the draft, so there's an opportunity now. We're after free agency. We're heading into the draft. There's an opportunity now to maybe fix some of these issues. They didn't really do much in free agency, weren't very aggressive. So
wait a minute. You said it could be contract situations, positions in need, scheme. You didn't say anything about draft.
I didn't just say draft, but I'm saying that this is the timing of it. The draft is a chance to address some of these things. It could be anything, though. So here it is, the top 5. Who would like to go first?
I'll go first because I actually typed mine out. Look at that.
Nice.
All right. So number 5, getting sued by Steve Wilkes under the Brian Flores discrimination suit flag is not a good look. It's going to be a huge distraction for the team. That right there, that is a hefty problem facing the Cardinals. Now, again, just to reiterate, I can see both sides of this. I can see both sides, but knowing the organization the way we know it, I don't think it was probably a racially motivated thing. but I can see why Steve Wilkes would feel that way. So I'm hoping they can get together and talk that thing out. But at this moment, that right there is a big problem for the Cardinals. Number 4, with Chandler Jones gone, they really, really need a good pass rusher. I mean, I know they picked up some, but they need somebody astounding to keep up the pace of what they've been doing. Number 3, Cliff Kingsbury can't win in the later part of the season when you need him to. I got no solution for that, but that's a big problem facing them. It's faced him his entire career, so you can't just say, it's a fluke. No, it's a pattern. Number 2, Father Time. Olive Kime's restoration project guys that he's brought in, they're a year older, which means they're a year more fragile. He's got a lot of guys like that, and that could spell big trouble for the Arizona Cardinals. And my number one problem facing the Cardinals, the on-again, off-again bromance with Kyler Murray. That needs fixing, and it needs fixing fast. I don't think they're any closer to solving it. They're playing fast and loose with their PR, with their socials, with this and that. I want to look like a good guy. I want to look like a good guy. But the fact remains, there's no deal in place, and Kyler Murray has said he will not play without one. I don't believe that has changed. So all the nice things said, absolutely zero relevance. What's relevant is when you see Kyler Murray show up with a helmet on. And that's my top 5. Who's next?
Incredibly good top 5. Izzy, what do you have?
Well, for this one, I got, what do you do with Kyler? That's the biggest question of it all. Like, Kyler.
Wait, time out. Izzy?
Yeah.
You start at the 5 and then go up to 1. You don't start with the top one.
I'll start with I'm going from,
you bet. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, bet. Well, to be honest, see, that was going to be weird because I did also have Steve Wilkes. I did.
I don't believe you. I think you just copied my paper.
Oh no, I got a little notepad app right here.
I should have never shown it on the camera because man, he's photographing memory.
That was fast.
No, but the only reason why I say this is a big thing is because we see different owners and we see the higher ups front office, where no matter what sport it is, we see scandals. We see all of these things happening, in terms of legal wise, and it gets brushed under the rug, and we don't hear about it for a while. Steve, I think this will pop up within the next week or two. There's something will pop up that this will be a big distraction for the Arizona Cardinals, and like Jeffrey said, I don't think it's. I think he was just there to save space. He was there to just there to be there to get fired. You know, that's how it is. You sign up, you're signed to coach a really bad team. And as soon as your team gets a little bit better, you get kicked out and you get to bring in somebody better.
Yeah, and to be fair, it happens to white guys too.
Right.
But it doesn't happen to white guys as much, and that is what the problem is.
Exactly. So I think that coming into play is going to be a huge distraction for them. Number 4, just a little light on a couple of backups. James O'Connor is missing a backup. You lost Chase Edmonds. You lost Christian Kirk.
Good.
You're losing a lot of guys. Max Garcia, your center. He was there for good. You got Rodney Hudson, but who's the backup?
Is all of this 4 or?
Yeah, all of this is 4. Just having a reinforcement.
Basically just depth.
He's rattling off names there.
I had to. Yeah, but
like Randy's trying to put too many in those numbers again.
No, it's just you got to have a backup. I feel like that should be your number one focus going in there, and
getting the Cardinals deeper is what you're saying.
Yes, getting the Cardinals deeper. Next, Kyler Murray, AJ Green connection. They talked about AJ Green just had an interview, signed up for another year. And he talked about him and Kyler Murray's connection has to be better. It wasn't as good last year. We seen that, the bunch of miscommunications. Kyler Murray getting frustrated with AJ Green. So that has to be sharpened up if you want to continue to win, especially with Kyler Murray. That's also leading to Kyler Murray. What he has, you need to know what he's going to do. We have no idea. Are you going to trade him? Are you going to keep him? Are you going to let him continue to do all this foolish stuff until you just finally just say, give up, whatever, let's get rid of him. You just got to figure out what you want to do with Kyler Murray. And so number 1, it's just the draft. Are you going to build a stronger O-line? We're talking about having the backups and having everybody. Now it's just the draft. You're not going to get nobody in free agency. I don't see anybody huge that the Arizona Cardinals that can pick up in free agency. I think it's all in the draft and making the best choices in that draft.
Yeah, and making the best choices out of later rounds, because if I'm not mistaken, the Cardinals do not have a first-round pick, do they?
I believe they do.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I guess that's just me, the Colts. Damn it. All right, not bad, is he? Okay, Keon.
So number 5, Cliff Kingsbury's scheme has to grow up. It has to evolve. I think that the reason why we're having a lot of these second half meltdowns in seasons is Cardinals run a lot of the same stuff weeks 1 through 8. And then 8 to 17, we're still running the same stuff. And it's not being, it's being exploited by a lot of teams. I mean, you look at where they line up DeAndre Hopkins in this offense. For goodness sakes, get this guy on some other parts of the field. Don't just line him up on the left side all the time. Move him to the right. Have him in motion. We just don't see that enough out of this Cardinals team. After that, team's got to get an edge rusher. Number 4, Chandler Jones. He left in free agency. And look, I don't know what you have to do there at that point to get an edge rusher, whether you got to go get Jadeveon Clowney in free agency, take a gamble on a guy like that, or go find somebody in the draft. But whatever you do.
Yeah, whatever Kime does, it'll be elderly.
I mean, I sure hope not. He has missed on pass rushers before too. So that's going to be a problem. And the number 3 for me is fix this offensive line. It was ranked 15th by Pro Football Focus last year. And that's a gigantic problem. I don't think that you can have a repeat performance of that and continue to be successful with Kyler Murray, because we saw him. He looked punch drunk by the end of the season. He was scared. He was running for his life. That is a major issue, especially at right guard. I do think that Hudson showed a lot of improvement at center, and I think that the left tackle improved as well. But you can't have an offensive line that's ranked 15th with the way that they struggled in the red zone, and struggled to get James Conner, honestly, running lanes. They were really bad at run blocking in particular. That's got to be beefed up as well. Number 2, get a wide receiver. I cannot stress this enough. DeAndre Hopkins is a guy that can do a whole lot, but at some point, he's either injured and then everything seems to collapse in on itself, or teams scheme for him, plot to take him away, double team him, and you need someone else to take advantage of those double teams. AJ Green, as great as he's been in this league, he is at an age where I don't think he can do that consistently anymore. Might I suggest Jameson Williams out of Alabama? The guy's a speed demon, and he's a top-tier wide receiver who has a little bit of an injury right now and might be able to fall to where the Cardinals are in the draft. And the number 1, get the Kyler Murray situation figured out. You've got to get this sorted. Maybe you don't get a long-term deal, but maybe you talk him into coming back and figuring it out. Whatever it is, get that sorted out, because you're not going anywhere without an elite quarterback in this league. And I do think Kyler Murray is that.
To be fair, it's not the Cardinals' fault. What Kyler Murray is doing right now is not the Cardinals' fault.
I don't blame them for it, but they do have to figure it out.
Well, they have to deal with it, yes, but I still shrug my shoulders and say, what has Kyler Murray really shown us that deserves an early extension to this contract? What has he really proven yet? And for him to go there and basically, extort, the contract a year early, just seems completely ill-advised. And so the Cardinals don't have to blink. The Cardinals don't have to do a damn thing. They realize that he has said, well, I'm not going to play without an extension. Okay, well, I guess you're not going to play, and then we'll have to figure out who to get for a quarterback. And hey, maybe this is our opportunity to tank and maybe get another first-round pick. And then you can go on your merry way, little guy. I'm sure that's not what they're thinking. But the Cardinals don't have to do anything. Kyler Murray has to make a decision. Is he going to hold firm and say, I'm not playing without that contract? Or is he going to realize the damage he will do to his own career and step up and say, well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take a leap of faith and trust the Cardinals will take care of me the right way, and we'll just see what happens at the end. That's really what he should do. I mean, that's the smart thing to do. That's the right thing to do. I'm sure there's people listening right now saying, no, you pay that guy. Look at him. He's a great talent. He's going to be amazing. He just needs a good O-line, yada, 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 yada. I'm sure there's people who want to say that. But for me, yeah, I'm sorry. I just don't like to get held hostage, by guys like this. You know what I mean? That just doesn't seem fair. Kyler Murray is not playing fair. There's a contract. He signed it. There's another year. Do the year. I don't blame you for asking for the extension. I don't blame you for working it. But guess who else asked for one and didn't get it? DeAndre Ayton. And now he's like, okay, all right, fine. Noted. I'm going to show you I'm worth it. And that's what Kyler Murray needs to do. And I'll tell you what, if he steps up and does that and says that, he has absolutely won the war against the Cardinals, and he will absolutely have to be paid on his next contract. If it's not by the Cardinals, by somebody else, because then he'll show himself as a team player, and maybe a good locker room guy. The other thing he needs to do, get better on the sideline. Okay, come on, man.
I mean, that's something that just the body language, it kills me, because that is not something, that's something that's free, as a coach of mine used to say. There are things that you can do to help yourself that's free, and your attitude is one of those things. You can bring a positive attitude, a never say die attitude to any situation. And I look at other younger quarterbacks that have done more, that aren't asking for a new contract, aren't threatening to hold out. Joe Burrow went to a damn Super Bowl. Josh Allen's been to the playoffs multiple times and won playoff games. Lamar Jackson has won playoff games. And these are the guys that you're calling your peers. They're not rocking the boat right now because they know that if they handle their business, they're going to get paid. The same thing applies for you, Kyler Murray. So just go out there and ball out. What's the problem with going out there and playing?
Yeah, it's okay to ask for a raise. It's okay to ask for those things. But if you get told no, pull up your pants and don't be a baby, and let's see what happens. Don't turn into that, because all you're doing, Kyler Murray, is showing us that, what we see on the sideline, that's really you. It is really you. Let's go to the text line, 888-368-1580. Twitty, it says, I'm not as knowledgeable about football as you guys are, but one thing I'm fairly certain about: having your quarterback run for his life and having the ball and heaving the ball in hopes the teammate might catch it does not seem like a reliable game plan. No, it's not. But also keep in mind, the offensive line had been playing better, and a lot of what had been happening with him running for his life, some of it was a little bit of football PTSD, because he got his bell rung and then he ended up like, he's always scared now. He's dropping further back in the pocket than he needs to, out of fear, and what's happening, and that's collapsing the pocket, and making him have to run for his life. So some of that is self-inflicted, but so no, it's not a good game plan. But the team has made mistake. He has made mistakes, and so there's a lot of blame to be passed around there.
There is, and like Izzy said, depth is a problem. DJ Humphries was the left tackle. I was trying to remember his name earlier. DJ Humphries, when he got hurt and they had to reshuffle the offensive line late in the season, that was when a lot of those offensive line issues really started to show. And Kyler couldn't necessarily deal with it. So they've got to find a way to get deeper across that offensive line. Might want to start with right guard, though, because Josh Jones was not good. Very bad.
So there you go, Twitty. You are correct. Good Cat says, if Kyler doesn't play because of the contract, I say don't let the mouse hole door hit him where the good Lord split him.
Oh my God.
Senior Wakenbake says Cardinals need to pick up Mayfield for Murray's backup. Maybe they'll light a fire under this half a man. That's a funny thing. Kyler is a moper, where Baker maybe doesn't have as much talent, but he is a leader. He is a guy who on the field, he plays it. He plays hurt. He plays tough. He does everything he can. He just doesn't have the level of talent you need to go along with that. And that is why he's in the situation he's in. But he certainly has the right spirit. For as much as I hate his commercials and he's kind of annoying to me, you can't say he's not a good teammate. Kiss the Cook says Devo Samuel's on the trading block. No, he's not. No, he's not. And we'll tell you why and who said what when we come back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
NASCAR Championship weekend is back at Phoenix Raceway. Drivers will put it all on the line to claim NASCAR greatness. The Truck Series Championship kicked things off Friday night under the lights. We're going to tear it up tonight. Followed by an action-packed Saturday, where fans will witness an ARCA and Xfinity Series Championship doubleheader. Don't miss out on the action November 4th and 5th. Get your tickets now for NASCAR Championship weekend at PhoenixRaceway.com or call 866-408-RACE.
AZ Preps 365 is your headquarters for all things high school sports in Arizona.
Brett Quintine, James Mello, and Jose Garcia
Keep you up to speed with all the action, highlights, interviews, and insider information for the prep sports scene.
You need to tune in
To AZ Preps 365 every Saturday morning from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on your new home for sports, 1580 and 99.3.
The Fanatic.
And always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
This is Joan, enjoying some me time up on the rim. This is Simon and his friends paddling the Salt River. And this is Brad. Brad is, well, no one knows where Brad is. What they all have in common is that they went to azmbdnow.gov to quickly and easily renew their registration or 30 other services. So go to azmbdnow.gov and get more time to enjoy all the things you love.
Sponsored by ADOT in partnership with the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
One of the most common questions people ask is if they can still afford to retire on $1 million or $2 million anymore. With stocks near all-time highs and bonds at all-time lows, it's actually a great question. 2008 taught millions of retiring engineers, teachers, and other professionals a costly lesson that years of market gains can be wiped out in just weeks of market losses. Not a problem if you're 30 years old with a few decades to make it back, but not if you are in retirement or almost there. I like to follow the 30, 50, 70 rule. The closer you are to 50 or 70, then at least 30 to 50% of your money should be kept safe at all times, like in an uncapped, principal secure, next generation annuity. Come and see why.
Call leading annuity authority Steve Jurich now at 480-902-3333. Guarantees rely on the financial strength of the insurer, so compare with Steve. Call 480-902-3333 and visit iqannuity.com.
Business people like it straight and to the point. So here it is. Bruce Jacobs here to tell you take control of your utility expenses by calling Harmon Solar right now. They can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Level your energy costs, protect yourself from inflation. How's that for straight and to the point? Here's more. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
This is Brad Musburger. Don't miss Betting Across America, Saturdays at 11 a.m. right here on Arizona Sports Betting Station, 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic.
It's Dave Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. So, trying to be advantageous about certain situations and not too precious. I went over to the DraftKings Sportsbook and I took a look at the odds for the Suns' next game against the Pelicans. And if I put $1 down, I get like $1.80 at the end. So it's not like a huge return on a bet, but it doesn't feel good to bet against your own team. But if you really feel like that's going to happen, I see it two ways, by the way. If I put a bet on the Pelicans to win and the Suns win, and I feel pretty good about my jinx. You know what I'm saying? I feel pretty good about that. But if the Suns lose and I've had money on the other guys to win, it's a consolation prize, isn't it? You got to take emotion out of the betting. And I know sometimes that's not easy. But if you see an opportunity, and for me, I think the opportunity maybe need to be a little bit bigger before I go ahead and bet against the Suns. But if you see that opportunity, you got to jump on it. But you know what you can't do? You can't jump on any opportunity if you don't have a sports betting app. If you've been listening to us talk about these things, you're like, I kind of like to try that, but I don't want to throw a ton of money in there. Well, guess what? You only have to deposit $5. You can make 10-cent bets. You can do whatever you want. You work your budget, work your thought process, or just maybe try it out with a little bit. Just see how it feels, see how it works, and then maybe you put a $20 in there or whatever. I didn't put very much money in at all, and I've had tons of fun. My bet's $1. Every now and then I'll maybe do a $3 bet if I'm feeling froggy, but for the most part, I'm just very careful and considerate and with the money. And for me, it's just, I'm looking for the win. I don't even care about the money as much as I just want to see my percentages. And so far I've doubled my money by being that way and being very careful. So whatever your outlook, however you want to do it, if you've been sitting back and like, man, I want to try that, let's do it right now. Get on that phone, get on that computer, and download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, or just bookmark the DraftKings Sportsbook on your computer thing there, and use promo code BET1580 when you sign up. You bet $5 on any NBA team to win their game during the first round of the playoffs. You get $150 in free bets instantly. So you put that $5 in there, and then all of a sudden, I got $150 in free bets. So if not now, when? So get that promo code emblazoned in your brain. It's Bet1580 at DraftKings Sportsbook, official sports betting partner of the NBA. Got to be 21 years or older, Arizona residents only. Got a gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. This is for new customers only. Minimum $5 deposit. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. And if you're already a member, you know you got those awesome same game parlays you can play with. Plus, each day of the first round, you get a risk-free bet up to $10 if your same game parlay doesn't hit. So check it out, kids. DraftKings Sportsbook, and that is Bet1580. All right, 888-368-1580. Now, somebody brought it up about old Deebo Samuel on the trading block. Well, that's not what they're saying. So, all right, so we know the Cardinals ain't messing around. The Cardinals have said, we're not trading old Kyler Murray. Keim said it, then Bidwell backed it up. And, sometimes you'll hear like the owner of a team saying, well, Carl's done a fantastic job as our head coach. We see no reason to make a change. And he's like, next week, he gone.
Yep, the dreaded vote of confidence.
Yeah. So sometimes you don't know what to think when you hear these things, but they say they have zero intention. Now that might be a looser work of the English language. Zero intention. I didn't mean to. That's kind of what Pete Carroll said, isn't it?
Yeah, I was about to say that. It's very reminiscent of when Pete Carroll. I forget exactly what he said, but it was something about we're not thinking about doing it as opposed to.
You may as well say, "Oops," when it happens, because did I do that? So Deebo Samuel, they say zero intention. What is the reality? Let's look at the 49ers, Keon. How does losing him benefit them? How what is he just want the hell out of town, and this has nothing to do with the money? What is going on here?
What I read this morning on The Athletic from people who have talked to people around Deebo Samuel is it's got nothing to do with the money. He doesn't want to be a running back. And the way that Kyle Shanahan uses him, first off, Kyle Shanahan, built his offense around his dad's offense from back in the day. And so it's very run heavy. And once you can use a wide receiver in the backfield, you throw teams for a loop in a way that we haven't seen a lot of guys do. But the beating that Deebo Samuel is taking from being a running back when he never wanted to be one in the first place, it's starting to add up. And if you want to have a long career in the NFL, it might be a good idea to get out of a situation like that. There is a reason why guys like Alvin Kamara and Christian McCaffrey love playing a little wide receiver, because now you get to be in space and beat guys with your speed, as opposed to taking the punishment that comes with being a running back.
Well, those guys still take punishment too.
They do.
Deebo Samuel is a wide receiver in real life, right? So,
but they're going from the running back to the wide receiver. So that's nice. It's like, okay, I get a few plays.
What makes you think the next team's not going to do that?
Well, that would be the thing is okay, he's disgruntled in San Francisco because he is being used as a running back. If we trade for him, we know if we use him that way, he's going to be disgruntled again. And I don't think that he is opposed to being used like that at all. But Kyle Shanahan used him like that so much. He was a top 3 rusher and a top 3 receiver. Right. And if Deebo's like, I can catch. I mean, if you want me to just be a receiver, I can dominate as that.
Well, it's funny because that brings to mind the punchline to the old joke. You want death or Ooga Booga? And, how about death? All right, death by Ooga Booga. See, it's just you can't win. So he wants to not be a running back here. What I mean, they've already sort of showcased him that way, and other teams be like, "Ooh, we could use a guy like that." But he's going to show him, say, "All right, I know what you wanted me. That part I don't want to do. I just want to do this part over here." Can he really make that demand, is he a good enough wide receiver without the running game?
Well, that's the thing, is he wound up being in the top 5, I believe, for yardage for wide receivers. So yeah, I think he can be. And they didn't use him as a running back in college. He was a wide receiver. That's what he put on showcase in college. That's what got him drafted. It was Kyle Shanahan who was very creative, looking at him and going, well, now hold on. If you're going to be that big and that fast, I know some other things I can do. But he's a good enough wide receiver that if you just traded for Deebo Samuel and never played him as a running back again, that dude would still be very productive in your offense.
Taylor the Quitter says, why doesn't Deebo just tell the 49ers he doesn't want to be a running back anymore? Why request a trade instead of just talking to them about the concerns? What makes you think he didn't?
Yeah, I mean, like we mentioned yesterday, the trade he requested was a month ago. So we don't know what conversations happened in that building and what did get listened to or didn't, or maybe he said it during the season and Kyle continued to do that and he played his part. And then the moment the season was over, Deebo wanted to hit the eject button. We just don't know.
And even then, like, San Francisco still doesn't even know who's their quarterback going to be. Like, Jimmy Garoppolo is still up in there. It's still questionable. They don't know if they're going to get rid of him or not. Trey Lance, they're talking about getting him rips. He might be the starting quarterback. Who knows if Deebo, that's a whole change of game plan. If Deebo is already unhappy with the offense, he's not going to be happy with the whole reset and having to follow in Trey Lance and having to get him to progress instead of him being like pretty much on the sideline, pretty much. Not on the sidelines, but not being the center, not being on the full attention.
Niners 1680 says he only had 53 carries. I say trade the crybaby. Fair enough. I mean, you're a Niner fan.
53 carries. I mean, I know that doesn't sound like much, but you know, you're being hit by dudes that weigh 300 pounds, and wide receivers get to operate a little bit more in space. You get to beat a guy one-on-one, or you get to box him out if you've got a big frame like Deebo does. There's a difference between that and you know, now I'm running between the tackles. Really? I never wanted to do this.
Last Toby says he's top 5 with Jimmy G. Not sure if he would be with Trey Lance.
Well,
Good Cat says, I just realized why Keim keeps drafting vertically impaired players. He's now able to split the lockers in half to save space. I didn't even think about that. That's brilliant. Tiger Paws says, look up the article on the web called The Colts and Kinks Stable, written by James Jones. That should be Clinks. My phone is acting up. It's acting up anyway. It isn't clean way.
Oh no.
Your
phone is possessed, man.
I'm using Kingsbury phone. It gives a whole big thing on his rankings when he was head coach in college, which is a lot better than what people are saying. And also a long list of attributes for Colt McCoy and why he's really good fit for the Cardinals.
I mean, Colt's a good fit for the Cardinals, but Colt's not a starter.
Are we going to pretend like the first part of that text wasn't insane?
I don't know if he said he was using Kingsbury's phone, but that would explain why it fell apart. Or sorry, that would explain why the text fell apart in the second half of that text.
Oh, well, it fell apart in the first part of the text. So.
Actually, very.
Against the Spread says, I am sick of my fellow Suns fans acting like the season's in doubt now that Booker is out for a couple of weeks. Have some intestinal fortitude, folks. We got a great coach and a deep bench, and nothing good comes without adversity. Suns win tomorrow. Bank on it. Well, this is a guy who banks on it. He bets quite a bit, and he has had a pretty good, reliable run when he gives us advice. I don't know. I hope I didn't sound like I thought the season was in doubt, but man, it is an uphill battle in a playoff situation without Devin Booker. And I ain't saying it's impossible, and God bless you for having faith against the Spread, but it is not going to be easy.
No, it's not going to be easy. This is a clearly a talented Pelicans team that made themselves more talented at the trade deadline. And look, the Suns are really good. The Suns are really deep, but that's your leading scorer, man. You're not. I know you want to say next man up, but this isn't football. You have a smaller court, a smaller area, and one guy is 20% of your starters. You can't just overcome that with a next man up mentality. I think that everybody on this team is going to have to raise their level if they want to fill in for Devin Booker.
Let's get an update real fast. We have a game in progress right now. It's the Memphis Grizzlies and the Minnesota Timber Pups. I know they just started a little bit ago, but what's the current situation, Keon?
Well, at the exact moment, we've got 3:46 left in the first quarter, and the Timberwolves are up 25-18.
Yep, it's going to be one of them kind of series, isn't it? Back and forth. 888-368-1580. All right, so that is 2 hours down and 1 to go. I don't think we need to go on to AJ Robinson. The Titans are saying we do not foresee trading AJ Robinson. AJ Brown. Sorry, John Robinson said that. So everybody's saying we ain't trading nobody.
I didn't even know AJ Brown wanted to be traded.
Evidently, he's not going to the voluntary workouts, and he wants a contract extension ahead of his 4th season there. But it may not be him asking for a trade. They may be looking to trade. I don't know. I am not as familiar with that situation.
Hey, pre-draft is lion season. I don't believe anything that any general manager is saying right now.
It's a good point. Listen, we will come back and let's talk about some good guys of the NFL. I got a few of those. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Babbel. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at babbel.com/TNC.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel. Me llamo Sean.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
3 weeks. It's incredible. After 3 weeks, I'm on vacation in Paris, having a conversation in French.
Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel. Évidemment.
Text radio to 64,000 to try Babbel for free. That's radio to 64,000 to try Babbel free. RADIO to 64,000.
NASCAR Championship weekend is back at Phoenix Raceway. Drivers will put it all on the line to claim NASCAR greatness. The Truck Series Championship kicked things off Friday night under the lights. We're going to tear it up tonight. Followed by an action-packed Saturday, where fans will witness an ARCA and Xfinity Series Championship doubleheader. Don't miss out on the action November 4th and 5th. Get your tickets now for NASCAR Championship weekend at PhoenixRaceway.com or call 866-408-RACE.
Do you want the best for your car? Then fill up with premium at Circle K. Circle K Premium is our best fuel with double the cleaning detergent, protecting your engine from corrosion and damage so it can work at its best. And that, my friend, increases your mileage for more cha-ching in your pocket. Plus, when you fill up with premium at Circle K, you can save up to 20 cents per gallon. Offer valid Thursdays or Fridays at participating stores. For details, visit CircleK.com. Circle K, how convenient.
ADOT's I-10 Broadway Curve Improvement Project is in the works. It's an 11-mile stretch of Interstate 10 between Loop 202 and I-17. When complete, your travel time through the area will be reduced. Access to Sky Harbor, retail centers, and colleges will be improved. And the region will be able to better support a growing economy and more. Keep up with the project and traffic updates at I10BroadwayCurve.com and stay ahead of the curve. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Department of Transportation.
Contractors need bonds, and the professionals at Constructors Bonding have been Arizona's leading surety management team for 40 years. We don't just deliver bonds, we make your bonding better. As the #1 producer with 14 markets, Constructors Bonding has the relationships and expertise to get you better capacity, better rates, and better terms. For better bonding, call Dave McKee at Constructors Bonding at 602-432-5929. That's 602-432-5929. Or visit cbialliance.com.
Live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale.
This is KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240 U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
All right, people, settle down. Because it's time. Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, not alongside Randy White, not alongside Ralph from Harmon Solar, but we got Izzy in the studio. We got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And we've got a game going, another game getting ready to start. We'll keep you up to date on what's going on between the Memphis Grizzlies and the Minnesota Timberpups. Also the Dallas Mavericks and the Utah Mormons. So we got you covered, and we'll keep you up to date as you drive home. So let me just get caught up on the text line, and then I'm going to give you some guys. There's some guys that are in the NFL, or you hear them talking, you're like, that guy gets it. That's a good guy right there. And I'm going to tell you who they are in here in a moment. Twitty, says, the NBA playoffs are a tough hill to climb without Booker, but what can make a difference is that what Keon keeps repeating, the Suns have a deep bench. Well, I'll tell you what, the Suns' deep bench did not jump up to the cause the other night when they lost. And I don't know if it was just suddenly everybody was off kilter because suddenly just without notice, Booker, gone. And then some of your other stars maybe didn't do what we're used to seeing them do. I don't know why, but that's a good point. I mean, we have every reason to believe that deep bench and the talent that we still have should be enough for the Phoenix Suns to go forward and take care of business. But I'll tell you, the other hand, is something else Keon said, since we're going to all quote Keon constantly here, is that this Pelicans team is not the same Pelicans team that was losing games early on. They got new people, and suddenly now that Pelicans team is a different team. So you can't take the regular season record and say that's the reality. The reality is the team that the Suns had on the ropes in the first game and then came back and scared the crap out of them. This is the team that was handling things pretty well before Booker got hurt. So these Pelicans are not a team that you need to be sleeping on or getting cute about. So whether your deep bench is deep, whether your player is going to play, your star is going to be stars, I don't think this is going to be as easy as we thought it was going to be.
No, not at all. And I know, and I'll quote you because you said the Monty Williams is going to make some changes on that transition defense. Absolutely. But this Pelicans team also rebounds incredibly well.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not just talking about Valanciunas. Like their guards, Ingram rebounds really well. McCollum rebounds really well. So getting those guys off of the glass, that's going to be one of the big challenges too, as to whether or not the Suns can really bounce back and get back on top of the Pelicans in this series.
888-368-1580. So I promised some good guys in the NFL. So let me just go through these here. First, Kenny Golladay. I don't know much about Kenny Golladay. I've seen him play. I've had him in fantasy football. He's all right. But he said something though. I was like, good for you, man. Good for you. Because it's true. He says, I feel like everybody should definitely be at the workouts. He says, I guess you could just say how much it means to me, especially coming off like last season. I feel like the whole team is just trying to start off on a good note, and I feel everybody should definitely be there. It's a great way of thinking. Now, I know a lot of these guys just use things as leverage. Oh, it's about a contract, about this or that. Kenny Galladay's right. It's like, hey, if you didn't win the championship last year, you should be at the workouts. You should be doing everything you can to be as good as you possibly can be to justify the bazillions of money that is being paid to you to play this game. And if you won the championship last year, you should definitely be going to all of these workouts because you're going to have a hell of a time defending that championship again this year, aren't you? So I get it. I don't think you should punish people for not being at the voluntary workouts, but I kind of feel like there should be most people there because if I were playing, oh hell yeah, I'd be there.
I agree. They're also, my only exception is the old dudes, the vets, where it's like, listen, I'm in year 12 of this. Right. My knees hurt, my fingers hurt, my wrists hurt.
Come get me for the game.
Yeah, when it's the voluntary, when it's the the actual practice and training camp, I'll be there for those.
Right.
This voluntary stuff, look, I'm going to spend time with my kids.
Sure. And I'll be standing there and I'll be like, now, okay. You'll get me now. I'm here now. If you're ready, I'm ready right now. I'm going to give you everything I got now. And then don't worry, I've been working out. I'm taking care of myself, but now, yes. Okay, here you go. I understand. I agree with you on that. But
But the
I don't
young
know.
guys, you're on that rookie deal. If you're not at that voluntary workout, I have no idea why.
But then again, as much as I agree with you on the veterans, look at Tom Brady's. He's walking into people's houses looking for a workout. Remember that? He's like walking in, is like, "Oh, I'm in the wrong house." Like, Tom Brady, why are you in my house?
Tom almost got in trouble during COVID. Yeah, because he can't not organize practices. I mean, he just this is how he's wired, and there's a reason why he's got 6 Super Bowls.
Winners do winner things.
Yeah, or 7 Super Bowls rather.
So, but okay, like I said, I usually can see both sides of that, and I'll give you a pass on the veterans there. So, but still, good to hear Kenny Golladay have that right spirit. He's like, you know what? And he didn't say they. He didn't say the team. We. He's like, he's putting himself in there too. Like, hey, I want to be better. Everybody should be there trying to get better.
And the Detroit Lions are trying to, or sorry, not Detroit Lions. The New York Giants putting something together. Just you have a season that was disappointing. You got to build on that. And the only way to do that is practice.
So Jacoby Brissett talking about practice. Listen, he was the backup quarterback for the Colts. He was the starter when Andrew Luck decided to go on a walkabout suddenly during the preseason that year, and we never saw him again. I like Jacoby Brissett, a heck of a dude. Does lots of charity work. He's a good guy. Unfortunately, the talent level has a ceiling for him, so he's not a starter. He got his chance to be a starter, and he didn't do great. He didn't do horrible, but just not where I think we were 500 that year for the Colts. He goes to Miami. Well, we all know what happened there. And so, it'd be easy to feel dejected and rejected, but it sounds like this is a guy who's finally realized, okay, I'm making millions just no matter what. So I'm still going to be ready for my chance when it comes. He says, I can't predict when I'm going to play, so I always prepare like I'm the starter. That is the right spirit. Some guys prepare by holding the clipboard. Like, should I hold it up like this? Okay, good. Jacoby's like, no, I am out there practicing. I prepare like I'm the starter, regardless of the situation. Because the truth of it is, you're always one play away from being out there on the field. And earn your money, get out there and play when it is your turn. So he you know what? If he's a starter, he's a starter. Good for him. And I'll tell you what, I would always trust him and always did trust him as a starter. So I like that he has the right attitude about that. Once you realize what your lane is in life, he is making sure he's the best in that lane and ready to earn his keep when the time comes.
I've seen that in this business. I've worked with a lot of guys my age that didn't want to do the grunt work that it took to get to the point where you get to be in front of a microphone. That's where everybody wants to be, and they don't want to do the little stuff early that gets you there. And there's a bunch of businesses that are like that too. I mean, you've got to get to that point, and you've always got to be ready, but you can't skip steps. And I do think that a lot of guys, especially guys who think that they're going to be backups and they want it to be starters, and it's dawning on them they're going to be backups, kind of go through the motions a little bit. And you can see when those guys get out there, it's bleep, I didn't realize.
No expectations.
Yeah, I was just here collecting a paycheck, and then they needed me.
I mean, let's be honest. The backup quarterback, that is one of the best paychecks you could ever cash.
Yeah.
I mean, look how much money the McCowns made just being backups in the league.
So at least we give credit to Jacoby Brissett for having the right spirit about that. And now we move on to Anthony Walker. Anthony Walker, he wore a number 4 for the Browns. And, here comes Deshaun Watson. And so he had the right spirit. We talked about a guy who got a Rolex the other day. We talked about people in the past who's like, well, if you want this, give me $1 million. And some of it is joking, some of it's serious. But this guy, this is a teammate. This is a good guy. Anthony Walker says, I reached out to Deshaun Watson. I told him right away, the number is yours. Simple, easy, boom. Obviously, number 4 means a lot to Anthony Walker. He says, but it's your quarterback. At the end of the day, that's your franchise quarterback, and you got to understand that. So right there, just selfless, taking care of it. It's like, I'll be number 5. I was 50 from my first 3 seasons in Indianapolis. So yeah, take 4. I'll take 5. welcome to the team.
I don't know. To guarantee 230 mil, I need at least a couple million for that number. I'm sorry. I gotta be that guy. I'm sorry.
So you hope is he either gives you a few bucks or like a nice tip or a nice present, a gift, but also realize that, well, if he plays well, he's happy. That's going to equal those millions for you at some point.
If he gets us to a Super Bowl, it's going to be worth a whole lot more than that.
Yeah, he could do that with another number. Yeah, I already got mine. I'm trying to establish myself. Like this is my number.
Izzy's like, listen, we'll do business, or I'm keeping the number. That's it.
Right, exactly.
Well, you're right.
Which is a way to do it. I remember last year, I think AJ Brown and Julio Jones. Julio was getting traded to the Titans, and AJ said, "Hey, you can have the number 2. That was the number that you were wearing." And then Julio said, no, keep it. Those two guys basically going, hey, and Izzy's over here going, nope, number's mine.
Nope. So here's the other thing. Anthony Walker being a linebacker, he doesn't even have to face Deshaun Watson very often. You know what I mean? They split up into their groups, and he's with the defense. He's doing those things, and sure, they'll red shirt practice or whatever, but he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to bow down to Deshaun Watson. He doesn't have to give him anything. This is a guy who's looking out for the team. This is a guy who knows that's the quarterback. He needs to be happy and healthy and ready to go. And I could be number 5. You're number 4. You are the man. And I'll tell you what, I bet that meant something to Deshaun Watson. I bet they was like, he probably did, Izzy, turn around and see, here's the thing. You are going to be like, I'm standing firm for money. Well, what if he gave you more money because you didn't ask for it? You see what I'm saying? Maybe it's better to just be the good guy and see what rewards come from being the good guy rather than demanding the reward.
I don't know. I don't know. This guy already has a sketch character already. Like
you're gonna punish him.
Yeah, like we don't know if this man's like true or not. It's like I'm pulling cards right now, and I need a couple million.
The worst thing you ever learned was he has 230 guaranteed $1 million coming. That's the worst thing because
you can afford it.
What he came up to you with some coupons for some massages. He's like, trust me, these are the good ones.
You're trying to get me in trouble. It's like, so you really want my number to get me out of here.
Well, you know what? I respect your business acumen, but as far as teammates go, you are incorrect. 888-368-1580. So, all right, we've talked about the fact that Kyler Murray is declaring his undying love for Arizona and the Cardinals. We've talked about the fact that Keim and Benhill have declared their undying commitment to never, ever, ever trade Kyler Murray. And so here's where we are now. If they can't get a deal done, well, boy, it's not gonna go good. Who gets hurt worse if they don't get the deal done? Is it hurt the Cardinals more, or does it hurt Kyler Murray more?
I think it hurts the Cardinals more if they don't get a deal done, at least in the short term, because your team, you're trying to construct a team that can win a Super Bowl. You've made the playoffs. You had, for the most part, a good year last year. This is a team that should be building on that playoff appearance, that should be trying to go, okay, we finally made it to the playoffs. Now, how do we get out of round 1? And if you don't have your starting quarterback, I don't know how you do that. Or a starting quarterback. Maybe you can flip Kyler Murray for somebody who's a quality starter. I don't know. But if you don't get this deal done, in the short term, it hurts the Cardinals. I think in the long term, if Kyler lets this drag out, if it starts to seem like, okay, we know what Kyler Murray is all about, I think in the long term, it could wind up hurting Kyler. But right now, I think it hurts the Cardinals more.
Well, I feel like if they can get themselves some sort of a veteran presence into the Cardinals locker room, watching Kyler Murray sit out, then I don't know, there's nobody in the draft. So I guess that's a bust. But I guess if the Cardinals can get a veteran, okay, maybe we can ride out this thing and play chicken with Kyler Murray. But if there's nothing, there's nobody. Are you suggesting the Cardinals need to go ahead and just pay up early?
Not that they need to pay up early, but for instance, Chandler Jones last season wanted a trade, and Keim was like, no. I don't know what he said to convince Chandler Jones to show up and come in and just play then ultimately Chandler Jones left in free agency. But
it's a different scale of economy there, though, isn't it?
It is, but I'm just saying, if you can get the guy to say, hey, we're going to continue to work through this, we're going to continue to negotiate, you may have pulled your offer off the table, but we're going to continue to work with you and we'll come up with something, then you might be able to convince him to come back and at least play through the season.
Good luck, because Kyler Murray's agent has said, we have seen before where the Cardinals have said, work with us, we promise we'll take care of you, and then things don't go the way of the player. So I don't know if that's true or not, but that is at least the mindset of the agent. If that's the mindset of the agent, that's going to be the mindset of the player, and they're not going to trust the Cardinals when they say, trust us, we're going to take care of you.
Right. And that might be valid if that's true. I don't want to call Eric Burkhart a liar, but I need him to find those examples. I don't know of any that were public, at least. So cite some examples on that, because I don't know.
He don't have to convince you. He just has to convince Kyler Murray,
right?
Who seems very easily convinced by that agent, because he's got him going ragged.
Yeah, because on the one hand, Kyler's saying one thing, but the maneuvers of Eric Burkhart and Kyler Murray together are saying completely different things. That the messaging is impossibly mixed.
Like I said, running them ragged. 888-368-1580. Lost Toby says, I moved high schools my senior year and had first pick at numbers once I made the new high school's team. I took the star player's number. That's my number. Didn't make the team too happy, but they got over it. I'm with Issy. This is my number. I'd sold it, but I ain't giving it away.
Yeah, exactly. Get something for it.
I don't know. I
guess it depends on the guy. I'm with you, Izzy. Deshaun Watson, no matter what happens in the league, he's kind of a dirtbag. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I'd be like, I'd probably mess with him, for the thing. But if it's a cool dude, I'd be like, all right, here, man, here's the number. But yeah, maybe I wouldn't just give it up so easy to the likes of Deshaun Watson. I don't know.
Jacoby Brissett, really cool guy. He walked up to me, asked my number. He can definitely have it. Everybody else, I don't know. Jacoby's probably an exception.
I got it. So there, at least there is some wiggle room on. I am standing firm. You'll give me millions of dollars for this number. By the way, number 4 is my lucky number. So if we ever have a team, it's my number.
I'm gonna remember
that.
Know.
All right.
I was worth 13, so I'm all good.
But number 4 is for sale if anybody's interested. All right, let's take a break. We got more NFL on the way. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
NASCAR Championship weekend is back at Phoenix Raceway. Drivers will put it all on the line to claim NASCAR greatness. The Truck Series Championship kicked things off Friday night under the lights. We're going to tear it up tonight. Followed by an action-packed Saturday, where fans will witness an ARCA and Xfinity Series Championship doubleheader. Don't miss out on the action November 4th and 5th. Get your tickets now for NASCAR Championship weekend at PhoenixRaceway.com or call 866-408-RACE.
This is Aaron Warby, host of the Bulls and the Bears Radio Hour. In the show, we try to teach the tools, rules, and strategies that traders and investors need to do better with their wealth and portfolio income. But most of the time, an hour is just not long enough. At Online Trading Academy, we believe that the average person should be given the tools, rules, and strategies that Wall Street's elites have been using for years to outperform others. Are you one of the millions that have recently established a trading account? Or have you always wanted to trade or take a more active role in guarding and growing your own wealth, but have not had the know-how or confidence? We want to invite you out to a complimentary 3-hour power trading and investing workshop, where you'll learn what it is that the professionals use to limit their risks and maximize their possible gains in both trading and investing. To register, call 8448-TRADER. That's 844-887-2337, or text the word stocks to 25029. Again, that's stocks to 25029. Reserve your seat now.
Are you a planner? Do you like to plan ahead? Then, of course, you already have a plan to call Harman Solar, right? Bruce Jacobs here. It should be at the top of your list to get solar now and enjoy huge savings next summer. Up to 85% on your monthly bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Then you can plan what to do with all that extra money. Harman Solar is a family-owned, women-owned, local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harman Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmansolar.com.
We're on a mission to connect every Arizona service member, veteran, and their families to the support and resources they deserve to make sure that there are no barriers to the benefits and services earned through service to our country. Find out how we can assist you in Arizona. Visit connectveterans.org or call 866-4AZ-VETS right now to learn more. This message is brought to you by the Arizona Coalition for Military Families, the Arizona Department of Veterans Services, and Arizona's Be Connected partners.
You can hear the grunts of pain. You can smell the workout sweat. You can feel the muscles straining. And even if you can't, we can.
And that's all that really matters.
NFL training camp.
Rumbling, bumbling, stumbling. Here we go.
It fills the senses.
Well, everyone's but yours.
Get the latest info, insights, and breaking news here.
Respect what it is we're doing here.
On your home for the NFL, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Welcome back to the Daily Blender. Well, the NBA playoffs are here, and you can make every single game feel like Game 7 on the FanDuel Sportsbook app, an official partner of the NBA. Now, throughout all the playoffs, all customers can place a no-sweat same-game parlay each week. You get up to $20 in free bets if you don't win. FanDuel has so many great ways to play. And best of all, when you do win, you get paid faster than a fast break. If you're new to FanDuel, just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Sign up with promo code Randy1580. Once again, that's promo code Randy1580. And if you already have an account, you're all set, ready to go. All set to bet, no sweat. Either way, you get up to $20 in free bets if your same-game parlay during the playoffs doesn't win. FanDuel Sportsbook, an official partner of the NBA. Remember, you've got to be 21 or older, present in Arizona. Refund issued as a non-withdrawable free bets that expires 7 days after receipt. Max free bet, $20 per week. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? You need to call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342.
So I feel guilty. During commercial breaks and stuff, I like to eat my M&Ms. They're like, I call them my power pellets. I get this little thing refilled on a regular basis by the wife. And so every time I open it, the dog comes running. And, I don't know if you know this, Izzy, dogs can't eat chocolate. It'll kill them.
Yeah.
So, so he's sitting there right now, just giving me the guiltiest looks, like, oh, I see you have M&Ms. I guess that must be nice to just have a snack over there while I'm just lying here, snackless, I guess. Seriously, he's got the most sad look in his face right now because I won't give him M&Ms, but he doesn't understand. I can't give him M&Ms. So dogs have them milk bones. They're too big, So what I want to do is I want to find a dog treats when I'm in here doing the show and he hears this and comes running. I want to be able to give him a dog treat a similar size, but do they make any like that? I don't know if I've ever seen M&M sized dog treats.
No, I don't think I have neither.
Or, maybe that's a bad idea because then he'll get into my M&M's jar and start eating those, thinking those are dog treats and die. No, that'd be horrible. You're no help, Izzy.
Look, I'm the least help when it comes to at least dogs and pets. What kind of M&Ms are you? A peanut M&M guy?
No, I like the reg. I mean, I like peanut M&Ms. I'll eat some, but I'm a regular M&M person. I can pop those all day.
Oh, you got to grab the minis, the M&M minis in the bag, the blue bag.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. They used to come in these little canisters, and I always just think to myself, seems like more shell, less chocolate when you get the mini. So I just give me the regular ones. That's why do they got to change everything? Why do I got give me a Mountain Dew. Don't give me a Mountain Dew code red, code blue, code whatever. I just give me the damn Mountain Dew. And why do they have to give me 19 different kinds of Doritos? All right, okay. I was happy when you came up with Cool Ranch, but it's fine. Just give me a Doritos or Cool Ranch. I don't care. It's just too many different versions of things. It's just like, can't we just be happy just with what we have?
And some of the ideas aren't even that great. There's somebody in a lab trying to figure out a new flavor, and then they come up with the new flavor of Doritos, and it's cabbage or something. It's stuff nobody asked for that nobody would even think is good.
Although, on the other hand, that's how we come up with stuff. There was never peanut butter and jelly till somebody combined the two, right? And now we can't think of a world without peanut butter and jelly.
True.
Reese's peanut butter. You got your chocolate in my peanut butter. You got your peanut butter in my chocolate. Holy crap, that's good stuff. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just being too fuddy on the duddy, but I guess we should let them keep trying. But sometimes it's like, okay, try with something else, something new. Stop trying to remake the wheel. You got a great wheel. We got great M&Ms. We had chocolate. Chocolate's a no-brainer. You know what I'm saying? Why you gotta mess with it?
Yeah, it's great. Let's make it smaller. Like, why? I mean,
that
it's
just seems like
fine.
a ripoff. Like, hey, like the new minis, they're the same amount of money as the big size. Wait, I feel stupid now. 888-368-1580. All right, Hefty Lefty says, get a bag of training treats. They're about the size of M&Ms. Yeah, but I might accidentally eat one. And even worse, what if I get to like it? First and 15 says the minis have a much higher shell to chocolate ratio. See, I was right.
Yeah. NBA update here.
All right, fill us in.
We got a beatdown going on in Minnesota. The Timberwolves are up on the Grizzlies 51-29 right now.
I'll tell you what, if the Grizzlies don't come back, these Minnesota fans are going to be insufferable. So yeah, basically nothing's going to change.
Yeah, so it's going to be the same as everything.
Sun Devil Niner says, want to know what else no one asked for? The Washington Commandos. Well, that was just sort of out of nowhere. That was uncalled for.
Though to be fair, the when they settled on Commanders, it was the team name literally nobody asked for. Everybody was going Red Tails, Red Wolves.
Yeah,
I mean, there were a bunch of other names that were lobbed out there that were pretty good, and then we got Commanders, and we've adjusted it so that it actually sounds kind of cool, Commandos, but we're just gonna have to live with it now.
So sorry, man. So I mean, I know I feel better about how I felt when Phil Rivers showed up as my quarterback. So I mean, I know how you feel, but I can't even begin to know how you feel.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the Carson Wentz thing hurts more.
Yeah, I've been there.
You've literally
I've lived it. Lost Toby says my dog ate a huge box on Valentine's Day chocolate, and he was like, this amazing, can I get more? He didn't die, didn't get poops, and he fiends on the chocolate now. Wait, have we been lied to? I thought dogs would die if they ate chocolate. He says, by the way, dibs on number 10 for the Fnatic beer chugging Olympic squad. All right, so I can't promise any numbers to anybody except for I will be number 4. When I played sports, I was 4 or 44. I didn't care which, as long as it was 4. I would have taken 40, but it never came to that. Anyway, so I got 4. I don't recall what Randy's number is, but since he's Radio Randy 777, I'm gonna guess 7. So until I know for sure what Randy's number would be, I cannot deal any numbers to anybody. Pretty sure Keon will get his number 13.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the reason I picked it was I used to wear 33, and then somebody took that, and I realized, well, it doesn't matter when I get here. Nobody likes the 13. They all think it's unlucky, and I don't care. So I'm just going to wear 13, and I always.
So it's always there for you.
Yep.
All right, Izzy, what's your number?
I'm 15.
Yeah, well, you have to wait until we know for sure. But okay, tentatively, you'll be 15.
Yeah, I take as long as 15 is a take. Well, you got to pay for it first off. But
I'm definitely gonna make you pay for it. You're the only one saying.
It's just if Randy shows up and says 15, you're out of luck.
Yep.
Oh, I'd be in tears.
Get used to crying then, because Randy's got dibs.
We're assuming 7. We don't know.
I got to find out what Randy likes. I got to come in with some snacks or something. I don't know.
Well, bribes do have a pretty good effect on us. Senior Wake and Bake says, Keon, cabbage, Doritos. Would you eat that?
No. I'm a big fan of the Cool Ranch. Those are the only Doritos I eat.
He also says, you think anyone ever asked OJ for his number? I doubt it. Remember what happens when you take his stuff. Bruno Baller says, maybe there's a dog that had access to so much chocolate he ate it till he died. So they figured, oh my God, chocolate kills dogs. I am questioning everything right now, but I ain't taking chances.
I just Googled it, and it said chocolate is poisonous to dogs mostly because of its theobromine content, which dogs are unable to metabolize effectively. So
that's bizarre. Your dog ate. Maybe they were just bad chocolates. Maybe they weren't really real chocolates. I don't know. If you saw the picture they put up of him lurking in the bushes, like some creeper, but waiting to pounce on some birds, you'll see where his leg is shaved where they had the IV in him. Point is, I just got this dog healthy and saved his life. I'm not going to take any chances with chocolate. I mean, that's crazy. Halfy Lefty says, nothing wrong with eating a dog treat or 5 by accident. Trader Joe's used to make dog biscuits that were chocolate mint flavor. They taste like Thin Mints with 0 sugar. How do you know this?
I mean, there's only one way to know this.
I'll pass. Wiggy My Piggy says, I used to give my dog chocolates all the time. Well, used to.
Oh, no.
Big George says, number 4 is my lucky number 2, along with number 8, Jeffrey. So I guess I'll have to battle you for the right 4. There's no battle. You don't get it. I'm 4. You can be 8 if Randy doesn't want it.
If you have a secondary number, you just go with 8.
Yeah, you've already lost your leverage when you disclose the secondary number. Good Cat says, honestly, I think Kyler's childish crap is what made Larry Fitzgerald's mind up about retiring. Maybe not. I don't, listen, we're not in that locker room and we don't know. And you can only go by what Larry Fitzgerald has told us. And what he has told us is that's not it.
And if it were true, Larry is so classy, we'll never know.
No, you would never know. And I mean, maybe like 20 years from now, if you're sitting there with him, you'd be like, hey, Larry, what about the little short guy? I hated that mother. I mean, maybe then, but not now. You're right. He's a very classy guy. Kyle G says, well, I guess it's Fitz magic time, Arizona. Yeah, that's right. Or perhaps Randy's dreams will come true and Gardner Minshew will come to town in his jorts and save us all. I still thought Gardner Minshew would be fine with the Colts. I wasn't kidding when I said of all the people that were out there, I didn't know that they were going to open up the pocketbook and pay hefty for Matt Ryan, who in the past I'd said, yeah, I'd be all right with him. But just the fun of Gardner Minshew, just see what happens. Why not? The problem is Gardner Minshew is not going to fit the Kyler Murray style of play, or would he? He is a mobile.
He's pretty mobile. I mean, Kyler's fast. Like you can literally you're on the 5-yard line.
And Gardner
direct
can
snap.
battle you mobily though. He can physically,
but he can extend plays. If get receivers on that scramble drill to where, okay, now I've got to separate from this defensive back and really push the ball down the field. And he's got a big time arm, as we saw at Washington State and in Jacksonville.
Hit the nuts. I wish I'd seen this earlier. He says the Cardinals don't need to play chicken with Kyler Murray. They need to play hummingbird.
Oh God.
La Chupa Rosa. That's a funny one. I don't care what anybody else thinks. Hitting the nuts. I like it. Bruno Baller says, well, that's nice of you to play it safe, Jeffrey. Your dog will be perfectly fine with a treat other than chocolate. Yeah, and besides, the chocolate's mine. Hefty Lefty says, generally milk chocolate is low enough percentage of actual cocoa, so an accidental little piece here and there shouldn't hurt them. It's the dark chocolate you really need to be careful about. Well, that's another thing. I love dark chocolate. And it's mine, buddy. You can't have none. Okay, sorry. Lost Toby says, some dogs can digest, others can't. There's really no way of knowing unless they eat some. My dog steals my girl's Hershey bars all the time. It's hilarious to see how he outsmarts her to get that chocolate. You're lucky you didn't find out the hard way that dog wasn't one of those. He says, I knew shepherds were smart, but they scheme for chocolate. I just told you how my dog is part Coconi and part shepherd, and he's scheming to get himself a bird. So yeah, I've seen him scheme. I guess he knocked something down in the living room. She went to go check on it, and he ran in her room and grabbed the bar off the bed. That is smart. Yeah. I've seen dogs do that kind of thing before, but man, that is smart. Good Cat says, I'll take number 33.
Okay.
Keon's like, I got 13. I don't care. And by the way, just for all you super fans of the Fourth Dimension, here is the pecking order. I get my number. Randy gets his number. Keon gets his number. Izzy gets his number. And then Hall of Famer texters get their numbers. And then everybody else. That's how it'll work. Mm-hmm. I don't know what we're getting numbers for, but Team Daily Blender, there's going to be some fights. There's going to be some arguing. There's going to be some payoffs. And all I can say is this: House gets a cut. That's all I'm going to say. House gets a cut.
That's fair.
So if you get a bottle of whiskey for that guy, I better get a shot. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying a cut. I didn't say all. I'm just saying. Senior Wake and Bake says, we figured out my mom's cat is Latin. She eats chips and salsa. Well, I'm Irish and I eat chips and salsa. So I don't know if that's really accurate. Maybe a 23andMe test is in order there. All right. I don't even know how we got off on this tangent, but hey, I got some Washington Commandos news for you that isn't about scandal.
Oh, shocker. I mean, because that's usually how the offseason goes.
I'm sure you know this, maybe you don't, but they've re-signed Keith Ismail. I don't know if that was today or yesterday, but they did that.
Mhm.
Are you happy about that? Okay with that, or just glad it's not a scandal?
I'm just glad it's not a scandal.
So you really don't care about Keith Ismail that much?
He didn't play very much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe this one is. Well, this is a nice thing. It's not a scandal, but likely it's just something to try to distract you from one. But they have created the Doug Williams Diversity Coaching Fellowship. The Washington Commandos have.
Yeah, I actually don't think it's a distraction. They've brought Doug
Obviously
Williams
not
in.
Dan Snyder behind it.
Well, probably not. I mean, I would guess not. But they brought Doug into the organization, and he's been there for 5 or 6 years now, and he's been part of the outreach to the fans. And so to give him this opportunity is really cool, because it's going to give him an opportunity to reach out to some of those coaches that are at HBCUs and things like that. Doug, of course, himself went to Grambling State, one of the most well-known HBCUs. And I think it's a really, really good thing that they're doing. Yeah. And I do think that they've made a concerted effort in this new phase of this team to try and right some of the wrongs that they've had in the past where they were racially insensitive.
Well, guess what? Keep going.
Yeah, I mean,
you've got a long way
to go, but I do appreciate the effort.
Yeah, and this is the Doug Williams Fellow is going to work with Ron Rivera and offensive coordinator Scott Turner and quarterbacks coach Ken Zampese, and they're going to work on game planning, that sort of thing. So they're actually getting put into a really interesting position to learn everything and have opportunities beyond this. So yeah, it's actually something that would be really nice to see repeated on teams across the league. You can't get, how it is. You can't get a job without experience. You can't get experience without a job. How the hell are we going to do this? This is not a bad way of starting. 888-368-1580. Kyle G says, is this number thing for a blender baseball league? We got enough fans for a couple of teams, I think. Well, we got enough people to fill 10, 15 teams as far as if you go by our fantasy football players. But no, this is just in general right now. I think we should claim our numbers now in case we do something like that later, or when we do something like that. I just don't want I don't want there to be any fighting over numbers. At least I don't want to fight over the numbers.
Yeah.
Hefty Lefty says, yes. Oh, by the way, we're going to cover that here in the next segment. Twitty, it says, what's the deal with this talk about a tangent? I listen, so I don't have to think. I think, Twitty, it's just, it's just Keon's a nerd, and sometimes he'll bring up mathematical equations as he's trying to explain things. I smile and nod.
Okay, I might be a
smile
nerd.
and nod.
I was not good at math. Just a.
I hate math.
I forgot all that stuff as soon as I could.
See, that's exactly what I did. I got A's in trigonometry. I got A's in calculus, and I purposely ejected it all out of my head. I even told my wife, I will help the kids in everything but math. And not because I'm being a jerk about it, because I purposely ejected it from my brain. And then they got this new style math that, oh, come on, man. That new stuff is stupid. It's just badly done. My common sense will not allow my brain to even consider it. So.
I took calculus in college and flunked it. And then I had to take a survey of math class, which was much easier. And I passed that. And then I'm done. I'm done with math forever.
Yeah. Except for in radio, all you got to know how to do, count backwards by 60.
That's it.
As long as you get there, you're fine. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we've got on this date in big Georgia sports history, I've got a giant wheel of sports. We got to get to that early. All kinds of good things on there. It's a daily blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Heads up, sports bettors. Right now, you can try VSiN All Access free for 30 days with no credit card required. Visit vsin.com/free month to sign up now.
Baseball this afternoon, the Giants visit the Mets. Anthony DeSclafani gets the nod, the righty, looking for his first decision of the season. He'll take on right hitter Carlos Carrasco. San Francisco plus 120, the Mets minus 130. Minus 130 Oakland at home against plus 110 Baltimore. Paul Blackburn starts for the A's. The plus 115 Diamondbacks visit minus 125 Washington. Zach Davies starts for Arizona. The right-hander 0-1. Lefty Josh Rogers starts for the Nationals. Seattle at home tonight against Texas. Lefty Marco Gonzalez faces left-hander Taylor Hearns. The Mariners minus 145, Texas plus 125. Gonzalez 1-1 so far this season. Get the latest lines and more at vsin.com.
NASCAR Championship weekend is back at Phoenix Raceway. Drivers will put it all on the line to claim NASCAR greatness. The Truck Series Championship kicked things off Friday night under the lights.
We're going to pair it up tonight.
Followed by an action-packed Saturday, where fans will witness an ARCA and Xfinity Series Championship doubleheader. Don't miss out on the action November 4th and 5th. Get your tickets now for NASCAR Championship weekend at PhoenixRaceway.com or call 866-408-RACE.
When you run a business, you need to be in control. And while you can't control everything that happens in the world of business, you can definitely take control of your utility expenses with the help of Harmon Solar. Give them a call and see how your company can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
Hey guys, it's Stephen McCollum from the main event here on 1580 The Fanatic. And join me 1 to 2 p.m. Monday through Fridays. NBA playoffs continue. We'll get you up to date on series around the league. And Major League Baseball is early in the season. Standings are all over the place. I'll get you updated around the league. NFL news is year round, and we're getting closer to the NHL playoffs. So join me, Stephen McCollum, on the main event Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. on 1580, 99.3 FM, The Fanatic.
Do you want the best for your car? Then fill up with premium at Circle K. Circle K Premium is our best fuel with double the cleaning detergent, protecting your engine from corrosion and damage so it can work at its best. And that, my friend, increases your mileage for more cha-ching in your pocket. Plus, when you fill up with premium at Circle K, you can save up to 20 cents per gallon. Offer valid Thursdays or Fridays at participating stores. For details, visit CircleK.com. Circle K, how convenient.
As we plan for our retirement, there are 4 questions we need to ask ourselves or our retirement planning advisor. How much? How long? How safe? And what cost? Let's start with how much. That is, how much income we think we'll need each and every year for the rest of our lives, including all the activities we want to enjoy during our retirement, like travel, recreation, and entertainment. Plus the cost of housing, including repair and maintenance, taxes, insurance, and utilities, as well as the cost of healthcare, including expenses not covered by Medicare.
Enjoy safe, secure lifetime income of 5 to 9% for life, depending on age and deferral period, with no fee deductions and no annuitizing. Guarantees rely on the financial strength of the insurer, so let's compare free in Scottsdale. For more, visit iqannuity.com, iqannuity.com, iqannuity.com.
Download our podcast at 1580thefanatic.com.
Don't be that guy.
Arizona's new exclusive home for live NFL games and Super Bowl 55. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
I don't know, lefty. Are we solving for cosine? 888-368-1580. It's the Daily Blender, and it's high time we get ourselves an update on the Grizzlies and the Timber Pups and the Mavericks and the Mormons. What's going on there, Keon?
Well, the Grizzlies have found a way to get back into that basketball game. It is halftime. They trail, though, the Timberwolves 51-44, but it was looking like a 20-point blowout, and they've managed to shrink that lead down to 7. And we don't have anything yet from Utah and Dallas.
No, yesterday the game started at 5:30. Today the other game starts at 6. So my bad. So all right. So what's the score for the Grizzlies and the Timber Pups again?
Timberwolves 51, Grizzlies 44.
All right. So making a game of it. All right.
Yeah, held the Timberwolves to a 12-point second quarter.
I'm just going to go get me some fries chicken right after the show and just make sure I'm back in time for the real game, which is the Golden State Warriors versus the Denver Nuggets. 888-368-1580. Moist one wants the number 34. Really?
There was another number I thought you were going to.
Okay, I guess we'll Heavy Metal Maniacs. You probably won't have to fight for the number 69. He says, This is my favorite number of all time. Senior Wake and Bake says number 92 through junior high and high school. Rest in peace, Reggie White, the Minister of Defense. All right, as long as Randy doesn't want him. Let's see. Good Cat says, pardon my ignorance, but what does HBCU stand for?
Historically Black College or University.
There you go. Lost Toby says, also, I'll open this up for my Hall of Fame induction party. Lost Toby's got himself a nice bottle of Centenario Lavinda. What is that? I've never, I'll be honest, I don't know that. What is that right there? He says, by the way, how many bags of M&M are needed to make the Hall of Fame? I don't know.
I think whiskey might get you there faster.
If you consider a bottle of whiskey and comparable to M&Ms, yeah, we can talk. 888-368-1580. All right, so I have a ginormous wheel of sports. So I want to do the on this date in Big George's sports history as fast as we can. So let's get this thing going. Then we can move to the next thing. It's time now, ladies and gentlemen, for on this date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1898, a long damn time ago. In a game against the New York Giants, the Philadelphia Nationals pitcher Bill Duggleby blasted a grand slam in his first major league at-bat. More than a century would pass before Jeremy Hermida accomplished the feat again when the Florida Marlin rookie pitcher, pinch hitter, went yard with the bases full facing the St. Louis Cardinals. That was in 2005 right there. So, yeah, that's pretty amazing. So has it happened again since that a rookie pitcher, hit a grand slam in his first major league at bat? Probably not.
I want to say no. I don't know off the top of my head, but
where is your Ohtani God now? That was for Randy.
Should appreciate it.
So yeah, that's crazy. 888-368-1580. Hefty Lefty says, I hope I can have number one. I love being the big guy wearing the skinniest number while playing the skinniest positions in football. That is interesting thought process to say. That would be something if you did see a giant center or a giant lineman just like one. Or zero would be like a bullseye.
Yeah, I'm sure that's why they don't allow it. It would be too weird.
Kiss the Cook says, I'll take 71. It's like 69, but with two more. All right. Until Randy comes back, we are not signing numbers except for 4. That's mine. And maybe 13. That's Keon's. It's Keon's as long as Randy doesn't want it.
Yeah. I mean, that's how the pecking order works. If Randy wants 13, which I would be shocked by, but if he wants it, he could take it.
Yeah, I'm betting 7 or 3. I don't know. All right. So what do you say we spin the wheel of sports? This is probably the earliest we've ever spun it, but we got some fun stuff to talk about. All taped up to the wheel. So why don't you give that thing a tug? I mean, a spin.
All right, Shorzy.
Sorry about that. I saw the preview for Shorzy. That just popped into my head. Sorry. All right. So people have been texting about it during the day, but this really does belong on the wheel of sports. So everybody's making a big hubbub. Mike Tyson just went full body bag in a guy's face on a plane. Well, here's the thing. You have to see the entirety of the video because this dude is altered. I don't know if he was drunk, maybe on shrooms. I thought I heard somebody saying something about shrooms. I don't know. But he was gonzo. And the guy videoing it seems to be goading him into things. So he realizes Mike Tyson is sitting in front of him and he starts talking. He starts trying to talk to Mike Tyson. He starts pestering him, bugging him, just relentless. And finally annoyed him enough that Mike Tyson turned around and just started wailing on him left, right, but much quicker than that. And bloodied up this dude's face. he was so drunk or stoned, he was able to stay conscious. I don't know how, because, but poor Mike Tyson, she's just trying to sit there. And this is you can tell it's not a cheap plane seat. You know what I mean? It was those business class or whatever it is that you go from country to country and has you like, you're in cubicles. Everybody's in their little cubicles. And this guy's sitting behind him. And it's like, oh my God, it's Mike Tyson. I want to be your friend. I don't even know all the stuff he was saying, but I haven't heard if there's been word that he's been charged with anything or the airline's doing anything. But now that there's this video, that this idiot is probably going to sue Mike Tyson, and also that the police are probably going to have to talk to him about it. So he was trying to go from San Francisco to Florida when this happened. So it was a domestic flight. And so has anybody seen any extra word? They didn't arrest Mike Tyson yet or anything like that?
No, I haven't seen that, but I did catch part of the video, and they say play stupid games, win stupid prizes. That is Mike Tyson, of all people. If you were going to heckle anybody on the planet Earth, he has to be near the bottom of that list.
I think this dude wanted this. I think that's what he was shooting for, even though he was inebriated from something. He was pushing him. He was pushing him pretty hard for this, I think. So I think that has to be taken into consideration before anybody goes and arrests Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
And listen, he started, he started touching him. You know what I mean? He started messing with him, annoying. So it's like at some point you can call that self-defense. And what stewardess is going to step in and do anything with this? It's Mike Tyson.
Yeah. I mean, but if the guy's inebriated and he's all up in your space, at some point you get to the point where I'm not sure what this guy's going to do. And I want him off me before he does something. I'm going to do something first. I just happen to be Mike Tyson. That's really the difference there.
Luckily, the plane was still just sitting on the ground, and Mike Tyson was able to just walk off the plane after it happened, probably knowing, oh, now here come the cops, you know? And he's like, well, I think I'm just going to get my ass out of here. So no idea what's going on with this outside of the fact that this video even exists. But I would almost guarantee you this moron is going to use this and sue the hell out of Mike Tyson.
He's going to try.
Izzy's microphone needs to be on.
Oh boy,
that button. There you go.
I knew missed something in the process there. Sorry.
I was gonna say, somebody from Mike's team said that it was a water bottle thrown at him as well. So I think that was like the final straw of that. And to be honest, I'm just happy this guy walked away with his ear. Like,
yeah. Could have been a lot worse. Ask Holyfield. I hope nothing happens from it. But then again, maybe, I don't know.
But we live in America and lawsuits fly around like, well.
If it had been an international flight, then he'd probably be fine. So let's see. Good Cat says, man card violation for messing with Mike Tyson. Man card accreditation for taking punches from Tyson and staying conscious. No, Good Cat, neither of those things. You don't get a man card violation for messing with Mike Tyson. You're just dumb. You don't get a man card accreditation for taking punches from him, especially when you're either so deeply stoned or so deeply drunk. That is not you taking the punches. That is the alcohol or the drugs. So, I get what you're saying, but sorry, leave the man card, activity to the commissioner, buddy.
Also, the frown on his face after Mike Tyson. He's just got this frown.
He's like pointing at it, like.
And he's pointing to the blood coming from his head.
Blood right here. I wanted to punch the hell out of that guy. Yeah. When I first saw the video start, I wanted to punch him even more. I wanted here, Mike, tag me in. That guy just has a punchable face.
I already don't like people who screw around on flights. Being on a plane is stressful enough. You got to go through TSA and all this other stuff. And then you get on a plane and somebody's being a jerk. I saw a video where some people just broke out their guitars and started singing songs.
Oh.
Stop.
I don't even care that it's Christian. A lot of people are saying, well, they're imposing their Christianity. I don't want anybody singing, period. Yeah. I don't want a folk singer up there. I love a tree. I don't want to go up there. I love Jesus Christ. I don't need either of those things.
I don't want a folk singer, rapper, It doesn't
I
matter
don't
how
want to
well you
listen
sing.
to the Southwest airline stewardess try to be funny. I hate that bleep. I'm on a plane. Shut the bleep up and let's get the hell out of here. I don't need you sitting there strumming your guitar and walking around. Nobody asked you for this. Where's Mike Tyson when we need him?
So if you're going to be, if anything, the violation isn't messing with Mike Tyson. It's just messing with somebody on a plane. Just stop.
True. And I think he was messing on him to get punched. So he'd have that story, have that video, and have that lawsuit. Wiggy My Piggy says, well, I guess old Mike doesn't have that knockout punch anymore. If you think Mike was trying to knock him out, he was just trying to make a point. He was wailing on him pretty good. But no, you didn't see the full Mike Tyson punch, which, by the way, I do believe he's still capable of doing. No, Mike was just kind of, now shut up. That was the whole thing in there.
Yeah,
if he wanted to hurt the kid, he would not be awake.
He was limited space too, no full extension. I'm pretty sure if he had a little bit more
reaching
space,
over the airline seat. Yeah.
I like Izzy getting all Max Kellerman on this. Oh, yeah, here. Oh, yeah, extension of the thing. Oh, we had so much more in the wheel sports to do.
It's just the Mike Tyson story was too interesting.
Senior Wake and Bake says, don't play with dynamite or Dino Mike. Hefty Lefty says, I was 260 pounds in high school playing quarterback and punter. Number one looked like a racing stripe on me. All right, guys, that's it for us. We got to get out of here. But listen, we'll be back in your radios again tomorrow at 3 p.m. Have a good night and enjoy the Warriors and Nuggets game. That one ought to be a good one. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Get in on the first round action of the NBA playoffs with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. This week, new customers